opens Channel 4's new season of Film on 4, Tuesday at 10.
Now on 4 with Derek Thompson at Newmarket and John Frankham at Weatherby. We're set for an afternoon of action. Channel 4 Racing.
It's a 9-race doubleheader on Channel 4 Racing, featuring the 4 big flat races here at Newmarket.
And here at Weatherby, the tapes go up on our jumping season with 5 real quality races.
Good afternoon. The best of the flats, the best of the jumping, 9 live races in all, and we've recorded the earlier races for you, so it's going to be action all the way on Channel 4 Racing this afternoon. But unfortunately, it's a damp afternoon here at Newmarket. 1/3 of an inch of rain fell overnight. We were hoping it would dry up. It just might, but at the moment, it's still drizzling. And the going that was good yesterday is now good to soft, and 3 of our 4 races here are sponsored by ASCO Appliances. At 1:35, Double Eclipse hopes to follow in the footsteps of his brother Double Trigger, who won last year's Zeppelin Stakes. That's at 1:35. At 2:10, another listed race, the Marshall Stakes. At 2:45, the 2-year-olds take on the 3-year-olds over 6 furlongs. And then at 3:20, the big betting race of the day, the £35,000 Ladbrokes Autumn Handicap. So plenty to look forward to, despite the bad weather here at Newmarket. And what about Weatherby? A great jumping card there. Let's say good afternoon to John Frankham.
Well, we've got absolutely perfect conditions up here, Tomo, and as you say, we've got a tremendous jumping card, and the Yorkshire racegoers, well, they've turned out in force, and quite rightly so, because we've got some of the greatest names in jumping here this afternoon. And the going is good. First thing this morning, the fence builders are down. They just trimmed the top off the 3rd last tier. Edward Gillespie thought that it was just a couple of inches too big after yesterday's racing. And there's real interest in all 5 of our live races. Let's just take you through what we've got, because just a few moments we get underway. That's with the Ridley Lamb All-American Handicap Chase. It's over 2.5 miles. Where Sword Beach, who was quite unlucky there last time, he takes part. 8 runners go to post for that. Then it's on with a Tote West Yorkshire. That's a Grade 2 hurdle, 3 miles and a furlong. Just listen to this. Avro Anson, Triple Witching, Cab on Target, Hal Caboose, and last year's winner, Deb's Bull. Then the Wensleydale Juvenile hurdle, another Grade 2 race over 2 miles. The Royal Ascot winner, Silver Wedge, is one of 6 juveniles who've already won. There's a non-runner there, Skiandu, so just 8 go to post for that. Then the Charlie Hall Chase over 3 miles and half a furlong, 7 runners, and what a lineup. Last year's winner, Barton Bank, Deep Bramble, Young Hustler, Black Humour, Antonin, Cogent, the Hennessy winner, Run for Free. All 7 go to post for that. And then we wind up with a really fascinating Arthur Stevenson Novices Chase over 3 miles and half a furlong, where Sweet Duke, one of the top-class 3-mile hurdlers of last season, has his 2nd run over fences.
We'll be going back to Weatherby for their live action there, but we recorded the first 2 races from here at Newmarket, so let's look back at them. Now, the 12:30, very interesting 2-year-old race, the Balloton Lodge Maiden Filly Stakes, 17 runners over 7 furlongs. This is how the betting looked at the off. And Felitza, a daughter of the Triple Crown heroine, oh so sharp, a strong favourite, despite making her debut, 11-10 Tony McGlone for trainer Henry Cecil. Jumeirah's son, Jason Weaver, 11-2 next best. Alessia Michael Hills, 8-1. Alderney, John Reed, 10-1. 12-1 bar these 4. This is what happened.
Out of the halfway stage, and the orange and black colours, Alderney showing pace. Alessia in the diamond jacket of blue and white, and then just off the face of the pink cap, Golden Bridge starting to stride forward. Linton Less is racing prominently in the blue and white Star Steve jacket. Here in the dark green with a run is La Grande Senorita. Trying to come with a run is Felitza, the white sleeve jacket on the right of the group, as they come down to the bushes, just over 2 to go. And it's Alessia striding 2 clear now, and really quick it up in good style. The yellow coloured Jumeirah's son starts to pick up. Felicia with a lot of running to do on the right. They've got a furlong and a half to go. But it's Alessia in the lead, 2 clear of Elia Dunsky is coming with a run. Yellow colours. Jumeirah Sun starts to close in on the leader. Felicia coming from off the base. They're inside the final furlong now. It's Alessia striding 2 clear of Jumeirah Sun, who's finishing with a flourish. There goes Alessia. Here comes Jumeirah Sun in the yellow colours as he race up towards the line. Alessia's going to hold on at the post. Alessia just takes it.
First number 2, Alessia at 8-1. Second number 10, Jumeirah Sun, 11-2. And third number 7, Elia Densky, 25-1. Number 8, Felicia, is the 11-10 favourite and 17 round.
The biggest field of the day, 30 runners, are lined up at 1 o'clock for the Multi-York Daydream Selling Stakes over a mile. A wide-open contest, and this was reflected in the betting at the off. Komriev Dancer, Paul Edery, was 9-2 joint favourite with Calling Jamaica. Mozilla, change of jockey there. Brian Russell, the man on board, took over from Lester Pickett, who was down in the morning papers. That was announced just before the jockeys came out. So the £7 claimer on Mozilla. And this horse led, but Brian Russell had problems with about 5 furlongs left to run.
So Mozilla's saddle has slipped and going a long way clear of the field as they come down past the halfway stages. Mozilla had a very awkward ride indeed for Brian Russell, but getting closer now is Rollinson Silver. The action on the far side, Dance Motion, Bunker coming with a run from the far side. They've got just over 3 furlongs to go. And it's Mozilla pressed now by Rollinson Silver in the white jacket. Also with a run, Dance Motion on the outside. Coming there is Dom Appel with the, that's in the red cap, Dom Appel. In the yellow cap coming through next to the rails and coming with quite a good run is Mr. Fire Eyes. They've got just over 2 furlongs to go, and the action now is on the stands rail. It's Mr. Fire Eyes pressed by Tribal Peace. Also coming with a run in the striped steel jacket is Comrade Dancer under Paul Edery. They race down into the dip, just over a furlong to go. Mr. Fire Eyes runs the rail, Dom Appel and Comrade Dancer. Also Keep Quiet is coming with a run. They're inside the final furlong, and the bright red cap of Dom Appel is striding into the lead from Tribal Peace. And Dom Appel going on from Tribal Peace. Mr. Fire Eyes and Comrade Dancer as they race up towards the line. This goes to Dom Appel at the line. Dom Appel the winner, Tribal Peace second. Comrade Dancer is third.
First number 5, Dom Appel at 12-1. Second number 16, Tribal Peace at 10-1. And third number 8, Comrade Dancer, 9-2 joint favourite. Number 18, Calling Jamaica, was the other joint favourite and 30 rounds.
Dom Appel inspired some spirited bidding at the auction, just finished a few seconds ago, and has been sold for 11,000 guineas to Michael Banks. So that's the news on the first 2 races. We've got some non-runners today. Here they are in the Channel 4 races. First here at Newmarket in the 2:45, numbers 3 Rebellion and 7 Muktabas are out. And in the 3:20, number 9 Minstrel's Gift. While up at Weatherby in the 2:25, number 9 Skian Ju does not run. Well, let's go live to Weatherby and rejoin Franks.
Yeah, let's get on now because it's the race in honour of Ridley Lamb and Alan Merrigan, both of whom were tragically killed in July of this year. And Alan Merrigan, well, he was still enjoying a good run. He'd actually won this Charlie Hall chase a couple of years ago on Durham Edition. Really good jockey, and of course Ridley Lamb remembered for his win in the Gold Cup on the Thinker. Let's get a list of the runners and riders. They all go. Let's get them named from Rawley.
Thank you, John. Yes, the trip, 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs, £10,000 of added stake money. The run is headed by number 1, Young Pokey, a 20-1 shot, Jim McCarthy claiming £3. Then the 7-2 co-favourites, 2 of them, Grange Break number 2 with Carl Llewellyn, Beachy Head number 3 under Mark Dwyer. 4 is Sir Peter Lely, Mr. Chris Bonner claiming £7, this one at 9-1. Number 5 is the other co-favourite. This is Sword Beach with Peter Niven. And then number 6, Run Up the Flag, Eamon Murphy, 7-1. 7 is Prince Yaza, Liam O'Hara, the 33-1 outsider. And number 8, Strong Sound, a 5-1 shot, and partnered by Kenny Johnson. 8 runners then for the Ridley Lamb, Alan Merrigan handicap chase.
Well, there's Sword Beach, and this horse of Mary Reevely's is the course record holder around here, and a really impressive performer on his debut last season. He just went off the boil a little bit, didn't run after running in the Mackerson in November, but made his reappearance up at here just a few weeks ago and bowled along in front, looked all over the winner, just got a bit tired in the closing stages, and eventually finished second to boarding school. He's certainly got fitness on his side, also got Peter Niven in the saddle. Well, Grange Break, he's another to have had a run, put in a really game performance at Chepstow, just went down by a short margin. Looked as though he was going to come off worst of the battle for a long way, but and as I said, just got narrowly beaten in the end, and he put up some good runs last year. He won the Golden Miller Chase at Cheltenham. He was also a very easy winner up at Aintree, and probably one of his best runs, I thought, was when he was third to Antonin in the Ritz at the festival meeting. That's Grange Break. Jenny Mould, big afternoon, of course, for her, with Barton Bank running later on. And Young Pokey, the mount of Jim McCarthy. He's improved out of all recognition, Jim McCarthy's worked really hard at his riding, now down to a £3 claim. Young Pokey, just the one run so far, where he finished fourth at Wincanton, but they're underway. Let's join Morley.
And Jerry Scott gets them away with strong sound, the last to leave the gate. But they come to the first fence now with four of them virtually in line, and the first one to land over in the lead up on the outside, Beachy Head. It's Beachy Head with the running being disputed by Sir Peter Lely. Close up after those two in the blue and white hoops, that's Young Pokey. Sword Beach in fourth as they come to fence number 2. All safely over that one with Prince Yaza next, followed by Run Up the Flag. And still at the back of the field, the last of the 8 runners is Strong Sound. But it's pretty tight for the lead as they come to this first turn and make their way around towards the home straight, with still Beachy Head and Sir Peter Lely vying for it. Young Pokey back in third. And then Sword Beach falls a little wide. After them, Prince Yaza in the blue jacket yellow spots. Then Run Up the Flag. And Grange Break comes next with Strong Sound still last. And the jockeys seem to have elected to come up the more up the middle. Of course, they're avoiding the hurdle course. This is the chase course on this side. And racing towards the first in the straight, and this is the first open ditch. Beachy Head, Sir Peter Lely, touchdown virtually stride for stride. And then Sword Beach, who's moved up more or less level with Young Pokey. And now they move on to what will be the third last next time around. This time it's number 4 of the 15. Beachy Head with Sword Beach getting closer. Prince Yaza, the one who made quite a mistake there. Well collected, though, by Liam O'Hara. And now on to number 5, Beachy Head and Sword Beach, who's actually just gone on. Sword Beach on the near side in the orange and black. Sword Beach going on with Sir Peter Lely in second, then Young Pokey, Beachy Head on the near side. And so to the 6th fence now, with Peter Niven and Sword Beach coming to it, meeting it absolutely perfectly from Sir Peter Lely over on the far side, the yellow and black. And then with the white breast girth, that is a Young Pokey, followed by Beachy Head, who made the early running. Over on the inside, Grange Break, with Run Up the Flag between the two, Strong Sound, who's made a place. And the one who is now last of all is Prince Yaza after that early mistake. So just less than a circuit to run now in this Ridley Lamb Alan Merrigan handicap chase. And again, they're pretty closely grouped up front, with once more Beachy Head being taken up to join issue by Mark Dwyer. Making the downhill run and kicking it up a bit here at Weatherby, but the going is not bad at all. Good jumping ground, and they make their way now into the far straight, and they've got 9 fences left. Beachy Head goes on to become the leader in the race for the 2nd time. Sir Peter Lely and Chris Bonner, the only amateur, remaining in 2nd, and they're now at halfway and coming on towards the 2nd open ditch. Beachy Head again touches down first of that one, but only very narrowly from Sir Peter Lely on the inside. Young Pokey hunting up the leaders still in 3rd, then Sword Beach back in 4. He led as they came past the stands with a circuit to run, and over this fence now, and Young Pokey that time has just about gone on. Young Pokey becomes only the 3rd leader in the race, but Beachy Head is sticking to him like a limpet as they come down to the water jump. At the water, Young Pokey on the inside of Beachy Head. One who's made very good ground now just behind Sir Peter Lely is Run Up the Flag. That's him on the outside in that red and maroon jacket. Over the next plain fence, Young Pokey from Beachy Head still, then Sir Peter Lely now being ridden along, followed by Run Up the Flag. And then Grange Break making a bit of ground on the inside with Carl Llewellyn as they go to the last down that far side. And the 2 leaders now have opened up quite a useful lead. A leader some 4 or 5 lengths ahead of Sir Peter Lely and Run Up the Flag. But Grange Break is making very good headway, and he got the advantage of the inside position as they make this sweeping turn round towards the final straight. So Peter Lely now just beginning to drop back, and Sword Beach is way at the back of the field now behind Prince Yaza. Those two seemingly totally out of the hunt. But coming to the final turn, and they've just got 1 open ditch and then 3 plain fences left to take. And it is Beachy Head, the grey on the near side, Mark Dwyer, Young Pokey, and Jim McCarthy. Grange Break creeping ever closer on the far side and run up the flag now, looking in danger to the leaders. A definite danger. In fact, he's just about jumped into second place there. They were all over that open ditch, but Sword Beach is about to be pulled up. This is the third from home that they're coming to now. And Beachy Head by 2 lengths from run up the flag. Grange Break, a dreadful mistake over on the far side. Young Pokey is not finding a lot now, but Strong Sound has made a lot of ground. He was last early on. And Beachy Head almost went there, but recovered well, Beachy Head, but surely that's handed the race to run up the flag now on the far side. Strong Sound, if he can get through, could bustle those two up, certainly, as they come now to this 15th and final fence, run up the flag. And he's gone when in the lead, and that's left Beachy Head ahead. Beachy Head from Strong Sound in second, but it's going to be Beachy Head and Mark Dwyer who land the Wrigley Lamb All-American Handicap chase in the end very comfortably. Strong Sound in second. Prince Yaza comes through like a rocket. Just a shame, great break on the line. Then Sabina Lely. Young Pokey is next, and they're just crossing the line now. The riderless run up the flag. But Beachy Head, a lucky winner, I think one must admit. The result just being called by the judge, Alistair Stewart. And it reads first, number 3, Beachy Head, owned by Mr. M. Tabor, trained at Penrith by John Joe O'Neill, his 11th winner of the season, and it was number 19 for Mark Dwyer. Second was number 8, Strong Sound, under Kenny Johnson. There's a photo, in fact, the third, between the strong finishing number 7, Prince Yazu and Liam O'Hara, and number 2, Grange Break and Carl Welling. Well, that's Run Up the Flag, who'd taken up the running and came to the last just ahead, but met it all wrong, and he came down. And that left Beachy Head in front on the near side. Strong Sound under the strongest of pressures from Kenny Johnson on the far side, but he could find no more. And it was Beachy Head in the end who got it very comfortably indeed. Pretty tight for third, but Prince Yaza, I think, will have got up to take third. He was the one. There he is. And surely on the line, he has held off Grange Break.
Well, Jamie Osborne treated us to some really stylish performances here at Weatherby yesterday, and Mark Dwyer's got us off to an equally stylish start this afternoon. A really copybook performance from Mark. That was his 19th winner of the season, and also continuing John Joe O'Neill's great start to the season, his 11th winner. And he always looked like he was going to be a decent horse, Beachy Head, last year. Won his first 4 races, and then just lost his way slightly. Tipped up, if you remember, at Liverpool early on in a race, and then he was running well at Punchestown, just got a little bit tired in the closing stages. And a really wonderful reception here, and any one of these northern trainers would have been thrilled to have won this race in honour of Alan Merrigan and Ridley Lamb. Both, as I say, incredibly popular characters. Let's have a look at the race, though. Pick it up, go into the 4th last. And, well, in actual fact, that was the last run up the flag there. And it's got to be said, it was going to be nip and tuck. It'll be interesting to see what Mark Dwyer has to say, because this horse, Beachy Head, had his ears pricked going well again, going to the last. It certainly wasn't a lost cause for him.
The 1 o'clock at Newmarket, won by number 5, Dom Appel at 12-1. Second, number 16, Tribal Peace, 10-1. And third, number 8, Commonwealth Dancer, 9-2, joint favourite. Number 18, Calling Jamaica, was the other joint favourite. The tote paid $11.70 the win. The places $4.50, $3.60 and $2.70. The dual forecast came to £123.40 and 30 rand. At Ascot, the 12.55, won by number 2, Fatak, 6-4 on favourite. Second, number 5, Double the Stakes at 8-1. And third, number 1, Jopanini, 11-2, 7 rand. For 8, the 1.15, 8, Zaitoon, 11-8 favourite. 6, Jathib, 11-2. And 5, Dr. Death, 33-1, 11 rand.
So just spoke to Mark Dwyer as he walked back in there, and I said, what do you think? He said, well, would have been nip and tuck. He said, I wouldn't like to say that I definitely won. He said, but there was just a little bit of petrol left in the tank. Right, let's get you right up to date now, because Mark Dwyer had a fancied runner in the first race. That was the Mercer first anniversary Novices hurdle. And an interesting run in here because Tipping Tim, who you may remember won the Mackerson and this Charlie Hall chase a couple of years ago, well, he just lost his confidence slightly last year, so Nigel Twiston-Davies has given him a spell back over hurdles, and he'd won both of his starts here, and he's a fairly warm favourite to follow up in this race. It was a non-runner, number 5, very, very ordinary. He was a non-runner. As you can see, with a red-hot favourite, Tipping Tim, made the marks, 7-2 shot, Chateau Roux, and Man of Eskdale, the mount of Tony Dobbin, he was a 14-1 shot. Let's see how Tipping Tim got on.
And into the final straight with just 3 of the 12 flights left to jump, and only 3 left in contention. It's the odds-on favourite Tipping Tim, who's made all of the running so far, but getting closer now is the second favourite Chateau Roux. This is flight number 10, the third last coming up. Tipping Tim coming to it with Carl Llewellyn still with a useful lead over Chateau Roux. The only other horse in contention is Manor Ranger. The other 3 are really beginning to struggle, with Rampant Rosie back in 4, 5 is Farrier's favourite. 6 and last is Man of Eskdale, who's made no show at all. In fact, is about to be pulled up before the third last. At the second from home now, Tipping Tim skips over it from Chateau Roux, and only these 2 now are in contention as they run towards the final flight, because Manor Ranger is totally beaten back in third, and this is the 12th and last. Tipping Tim up and over, he knocked the top bar, but he's all right. Chateau Roux will only be second, and that's the way they're going to finish, running up towards the line, and it's Tipping Tim, a past winner here on the Charlie Hall chase, who's going to complete his hat-trick in great style. Tipping Tim, the odds-on favourite, completes the hat-trick with Carl Llewellyn. Chateau Roux, the second favourite, is second, and Manor Ranger coming back to be a distant third in front of Rampant Rosie, who is the only other one of the 6 to finish.
First number 1, Tipping Tim, the 11-4 on favourite. Second number 2, Chateau Roux, 7-2. And third number 4, Manor Ranger at 100-1. Non-runner 5 and 6 ran.
Smooth win there for Tipping Tim. John O'Neill, good win there and having a tremendous start to the season for you.
Yes, they're running well, John, for a change, so they're going well anyway.
And what's the plan with this horse? I mean, let's start off first of all. Did you think he would have won?
I thought the ground was a bit quick for him, to be honest, you know. And the main object was to get him around and get a race into him, really, because we have the Mackerson and the H&T Walker in mind, so we just want to see if we're good enough.
He really is a good jumper. He just got a little bit close to the second last.
Yes, he's very idle in front, you know. He's always pricking his ears and looking at everything, really. He just took his mind off the job, you know, but he was lucky to get away with it.
But did you think he'd have won? I thought he just had a little bit left in reserve.
To be honest, when I was watching it, I thought he was beaten, because I thought the mistake the second half was just finding him out, needing the race a little bit. But Mark said he thought he would have won.
Big advantage having Mark on board as well.
Big advantage, yeah. Right man on the right job, you know.
Just makes it all look so easy.
Well, it makes it look very easy, and also if the horse is beaten, no chance he looks after him. He won't get any better.
Now then, you haven't got a runner in this Charlie Hall race this afternoon, but it's such a great contest. What are your views on it?
Well, I think it's a fantastic race, and the ground is good, and Barton Bank is the obvious horse for everybody to look at, you know, but I think Antonin is the first up of the horse race, you know, and he's never beaten, but whether the ground is maybe, whether they'll go good enough gallop for him is the main thing, and Barton Bank hopefully will make a good gallop. I think he's a big danger, to be honest.
Is he the one you'd like to be riding?
Yeah, I would, if there wouldn't be as much pressure.
I think I'd pick something safer if I were you.
There wouldn't be as much pressure, John. No?
Yeah, well, thanks very much indeed, and well done.
Thanks, John.
John O'Neill is an FP of the last race.
First number 3, Beachy Head, 130 favourite. Second number 8, Strong Sound, 11-2. And third number 7, Prince Yaza at 33-1. And 8 ran.
And back here at Newmarket, the 9 runners approaching the mile-and-a-quarter start for our next flat race here on Channel 4. It's the £15,000 Asco Appliances Zetland Stakes. And it'd be lovely if a horse called Double Eclipse could win this, because his full brother, Double Trigger, won it last year. And also, very interesting newcomer here, number 6, Silver Sting, by the Derby winner Nashwan, out of Silver Fling, who of course won the Prix Labé. And that colt certainly impressed me in the paddock. Let's have the full 9 from Gigi.
And number 1 is Naked Welcome, Blinker, a 12-1 chance with John Carroll. Double Eclipse, 4-1 co-favourite. Jason Weaver for Mark Johnson. Ella Aristocrati at 7-1 is partnered by Philip Robinson. Itiram, the 4-1 co-favourite, partnered by Willie Carson. Royal Scimitar, a possible front runner here at 8-1 with Richard Quinn. Number 6 is the newcomer, Silver Sting, ridden by Ray Cochrane, 12-1 on offer. Vincent Caller's 33-1 with Michael Hills. Witch Hunt, Frankie Dettori in a white cap at 8-1. And the other co-favourite, Puck's Castle, at 4-1 with Michael Fenton. That's the lineup then for this Asco Appliances Zetland Stakes. It's over 1.25 miles, and they're down at the start.
Well, this 1.25 miles is going to take some getting for the 2-year-olds on this good to soft ground, and one or two of these like to come late. They're going behind, so let's join Alistair Down, who's our paddock man today. Alistair, what do you make of this?
Well, it's going to, as Derek says, it's going to take a lot of getting for these 2-year-olds. There's 10 furlongs in this particularly holding ground. Here's Aristocrati, number 3, was favourite and stuck on well when he won his maiden at Chepstow over a mile at the end of August. He then took on the Hot Pots and the Royal Lodge behind Eltish at Ascot, was beaten 13 lengths in the soft. He was eased when beaten that day, but he's coming back slightly in class today. You've got to ask whether he'll go on this ground or not. This is probably the most interesting round of the race. 4-1 joint favourite too. Double Eclipse, a full brother to last year's winner, Double Trigger. There's been a persistent whisper on course this morning and early this afternoon. The more rain, the better for this horse. He stays all day. When he won his maiden at Pontefract, he was being ridden along 3 out and came from out of the clouds to beat Vincent Cooler and others. You just think, you know, guts and tenacity and staying power are going to win this, and he may well have it. Naked Welcome, absolutely dotted up in a 22-runner nursery here 2 outings ago when Blinker for the first time. Tremendous turn of foot. Pat Hildery switched him out about 3 furlongs out, and he stormed home by 3.5 lengths. But that was on firm ground, and last time out in the listed race at Pontefract, he disappointed a bit when beaten 8 lengths into 3rd. New trip, I think he'll get it, and he's got a turn of foot.
So lined up then for this 1.25 mile listed race, and they go away. Aristocrati made the running at Chepstow, and also Royal Scimitar was up at the pace in his early runnings, early 2 runs in maiden company, but it's Itiram leading under Willie Carson by length. White Cap, Witch Hunt showing second. Vincent Cooler in the black and red the far side. Double Eclipse is 2 lengths off the pace, which looks steady, and then behind these Royal Scimitar taken back in the pack today. Just behind that one is Aristocrati with Silver Sting out the back in company with Naked Welcome in the yellow colours, who came from a long way off the pace. But Itiram under Willie Carson bowling along in front. Here's Prick, so Vincent Cooler the black and red, and with the White Cap Witch Hunt. These the leading 3 in this Asco Appliances Zetland Stakes. Then the dark green jacket Royal Scimitar, the light blue as the tempo increases Double Eclipse, and then behind these Aristocrati and Puck's Castle. Sheikh Mohammed, 2 runners here, Witch Hunt the White Cap. Taking very keen hold of the horse with the nose band on the right of the picture is Silver Sting, but they're quite closely grouped, and they do look lonely as they come down the centre of this expansive rolling mile track and past the halfway stage with Itiram, just quickening the tempo again under Willie Carson. By 3 parts of the length to Vincent Cooler in 2nd place, and then just off the pace Witch Hunt also coming with a run on the left. Naked Welcome on the right in the dark green Royal Scimitar. Off the back Double Eclipse is trying to get competitive. Also Puck's Castle trying to come with a run. Don't rule out Aristocrati is still sharing last place as they pass the 3, but only about 3.5 off the pace. And it's Itiram who leads. White Cap Witch Hunt starts to dash. They come past the bushes. On the extreme left, Vincent Cooler, and the yellow colours further left, Naked Welcome. They pass the 2 furlong marker, and here comes Royal Scimitar in the green colours to come and press Witch Hunt, and it's Witch Hunt the White Cap. Blue colours on the left, Itiram. Dark green colours into the lead goes Richard Quid on Royal Scimitar as they come past the final furlong. From the back, Double Eclipse is finishing like a rocket. They're inside the final furlong now, and it's Royal Scimitar quickening up from Witch Hunt. Here comes Double Eclipse with a storming late run, and Double Eclipse is going to get there at the line. Double Eclipse in a photo with Royal Scimitar. Back in 3rd place, Puck's Castle, just ahead of Witch Hunt. And these are well clear of Itiram and Naked Welcome and Vincent Cooler and Silver Sting. And so the outcome of this, the Asco Appliances Zetland Stakes, it's a photo between number 2, Double Eclipse, in the colours of the Middleham Partnership, trained up in Middleham by Mark Johnson and ridden by Jason Weaver. And he's just got his nose in front on the line. Double Trigger won the race last year for the team. Double Eclipse has eclipsed the field this time. Royal Scimitar, what an unlucky horse he is. He's been placed now on his 3 runs. He's stepped up in class on each occasion, and he's just pipped there. And in the dark green colours worn by Richard Quinn on the left there. Took up the running, did everything right, hit the front inside the final furlong, but it was double eclipse, the Elamanamu horse, who's just quickened the game and revelling in both the ground and the trip under Jason Weaver, has got his head in front on the line. From this angle, Royal Scimitar still has the edge, but Jason puts his head in front on his horse, double eclipse on the line. Puck's Castle is back in third, Witch Hunt is fourth.
Well, this race couldn't have been run less to suit the winner, double eclipse. As we join it here, Royal Scimitar is coming to win his race, and frankly it's going to be all over bar the shouting. Jason Weaver back on the right, 3 from the right. It's taken a long time to get double eclipse running. They've not gone quick enough, early enough for this real staying sort, and I should think Paul Cole supporters of Royal Scimitar were working out the tax here. But double eclipse comes with a tremendous late run under Weaver, who is just riding the most blinding form. They said the more rain the better for this horse to bring his stamina into play. And he's not being hard on him. Once he's learnt about it, he's going to do the job. And Jason gets him up. And you see, actually wins just a fraction cozy from the luckless Royal Scimitar. This is an interesting prospect. The full brother won this last year, went on to finish third in the Ledger. I think Mars Johnson out in Melbourne has got a 3-year-old prospect for next year.
So here comes double eclipse, keeping it in the family. Double trigger, the full brother won it last year, and it's a double as well for Jason Weaver. He's now moving on to the 193 winner mark for the season. His best ever season, second only to Frankie. And wouldn't it be good if he could get the double century here as well as Frankie Dettori. The Midland Partnership, Mark Johnson, is in Australia. He flew out on Monday morning from Heathrow to Melbourne for the big race, the Melbourne Cup, where of course he's got Quick Ransom on Tuesday night, and well, that's probably going to start second or third favourite, and this team from Midland really has had a superb season. But of course Jason Weaver has announced that he'll be going freelance next year in an effort to try and wrest the jockey's title from his great buddy Frankie Dettori. So as double eclipse comes back after showing a fine turn of foot, he did exactly the same first time out. The guys who were at Ponty first time out said it was incredible. He was tailed off with about 3 furlongs to run and then flew. That's what he did today. Here's the SP.
First number 2, double eclipse, 4-1 co-favourite. Second number 5, Royal Scimitar, 8-1. And third number 9, Puck's Castle, 4-1 co-favourite. The other co-favourite was number 4, Iteram, and 9 rounds. And at Ascot, the 130 was won by number 3, Be Rude Not To, even money favourite. Second number 1, the Jarty, 5-2. And third number 6, High Mind at 16-1, 12 rounds.
So, Be Rude Not To. They say that could be a very good horse indeed. Wins at Ascot. It's a damp day, although it has stopped raining, I'm glad to say, as double eclipse comes back into the winner's enclosure, preceded by the third horse, Puck's Castle. And here he comes, double eclipse. Good staying sword in prospect. There's 2 runs and now 2 wins. We're off jumping to Weatherby right after the break.
We're out of honey. Come on, Teddy, let's nip down to the shops. Oh, blimey, a traffic warden. Hey, Vernon! Come on, Teddy, another ticket would be too grisly. Will you get in? All right, Vern, you're worse than a bear with a sore head, you are. Oh, this is nice. Yes, the Renault 5 campus. Yeah, 5-speed gearbox. Yes, but, oh, reverse is my favourite. Oh, lovely stereo. Whoa! Nippy, this 1.4 engine, isn't it? Do you need any bare necessities, mate?
The Renault 5 campus, now only 5555 on the road.
The Bosch cordless drill puts technology at your fingertips. It allows you to drill and screw drive effortlessly. Its battery is rechargeable up to 1,000 times. And its quick-changing keyless chuck makes life even easier. Bosch. Excellence comes as standard.
If you're looking for a mortgage through Pearl, you might think we'd make a song and dance about it.
A mortgage? A mortgage? We got
low start, we got high start, we got fixed, and we got capped. There's endowment total repayment when the interest rate is mapped. We got life link, we got pet link, we got long term, we got short. When it comes down to mortgages, we got the lot.
In fact, with Pearl, there is no song and dance. Before we sell you a policy, a pension or a plan, we'll give you a person.
I can help you find out exactly how much you can afford. Explain about different mortgages. Help you shop around for a lender. Even help with the dreaded paperwork. We can start with just this one form.
Make Pearl People your best policy.
What are you doing? Staying awake, Boston. I have to be at my bank first thing, and I can't take the chance of oversleeping.
Look, for the 100th time, just get an Alliance current account. They got 24-hour phone banking.
You mean
Yes.
So I need...
No. Yes, there is.
Call now for more details about an Alliance account.
Philips has invented the ultimate compact disc player, CDI. It doesn't just play music, it also plays movies. It brings knowledge to life and takes games into whole new worlds. Philips CDI.
Come in.
One player, countless opportunities. Philips invents for you.
If you're over 30 and high car insurance is making your blood boil, call us direct. Perhaps we can take the heat off.
Ah, oak beams and a real fire.
It's another theme pub.
2 pints of Tetley's, please. Look, there's Faraday. They say he's invented elastic trickery.
Electricity.
Well,
It's going to change the course of mankind, isn't it?
Now, here is a marvel of the industrial age. Tetley's, smooth brewed in genuine Yorkshire squares.
Faraday? Your flies.
Tetley's, smooth brewed since 1822.
And welcome back to Channel 4 Racing. Before we return to Weatherby, here are the tape returns on the 135 at Newmarket. The winner, number 2, Double Eclipse, paid £4.20 for the win. The places £1.80, £2.10 and £1.50. The dual forecast came to £15.50 and a computer straight forecast £31.95 and 9 ran.
Nice bit of confidence for Jason Weaver, that Double Eclipse. Won that race with Double Trigger, you might remember, last year. And it's always a little bit of a touchy subject when one jockey splits up with somebody who's been retained from a year. And although they often say, oh, the split was amicable, it isn't always that way. Glad to see him back riding winners here for Mark Johnson. Right, let's crack on with our next race now, because it's a really fascinating contest, this Tote West Yorkshire Hurdle. It's a Grade 2 contest over 3 miles in a furlong. Let's get a full list from Rory.
Plenty of added prize money too, £15,000 in fact to be precise. The field headed by the favourite, 15-8, number 1, Avro Anson, the Mountain Mark Dwyer. 2, Triple Witching, Adrian Maguire at 4-1. 3 is Ambuscade, Carl Llewellyn, one of the long shots, 25-1. 4, Cab on Target. 9-2, pretty good value on his past form, Peter Nevin. And then 5, Halkibus, Richard Dunwoody, the second favourite, 11-4. Newton Point, the only one who's been out already this term, but he's the complete outsider, 33-1, Chris Maud. And finally, the mare, the only mare in the field, Densball, winner of this race last year. She's a 12-1 shot this time, and partnered by Jimmy Moffat.
Well, there's Cab on Target, one of the race hopes from the north last year, and it's got to be said he was disappointing. As you can see from the form figures here, he was second on all of his 5 runs. That was a mixture of hurdles and fences. He was second in his Charlie Hall chase to Barton Bank. He was second to Balasani over hurdles. To be perfectly honest, I never felt the horse was right all of last year. He used to travel really well in his races, and then as soon as Peter Niven let him down, it went absolutely nowhere. I didn't think it was particularly down to the ground or anything. It was suggested that he'd broken a blood vessel at one stage of his career. Maybe he was just thinking of that. Anyway, he's had time to recover. He looks magnificent as you'd expect from one of Mary Reevery's horses, and they'll be certainly something that these northern race goers will be looking forward to seeing return to form. That's Cab on Target. Let's have a look at another northern runner here, Antonin. Could just about say he was the best stayer of last year. He actually won the bonus sprint stayers hurdle at the festival meeting and lost that race in the weighing room. And the race went to Balasani, you may remember, but ran some smashing races. He ran a decent race for a long way in the Cesarewitch last week. And Maurice Camacho said beforehand that he'd be pleased if he was there with 2 furlongs to run. Well, he certainly fulfilled his hope. You can see he's in really good form with himself, just slightly putting his ears back there. You can just sense Triple Witching just coming up behind him. Triple Witching. Something very unusual happened to this horse in the summer, according to his trainer David Nicholson, because he used to be a box walker and as much as never used to stand still. He said he was constantly on the move, walking round even with a sheep in. Normally that settles horses down. It didn't settle Triple Witching down, but when he came back in this summer, apparently they put him in a different box in the yard, and he said he hasn't walked his box once. With just that in the back of my mind, maybe he's a horse who's just settling down and perhaps might just need this first run of the season, although having said that, he won both of his first races last year. He gave a really good performance to beat Avroanson at Chepstow and then kicked another decent horse right out of the way at Newby. That's Triple Witching. Well, Hal Capoose, he's been tackling much longer trips on the flat this year. He's the mount of Richard Dunwoody, had a treble at Bangor yesterday and ran some smashing races. Ran his best race, really, I suppose, first time up when he was second to stable companion Staunch Friend. But he's a real old favourite of Mark Tompkins, and he's a lovely horse. I'm sure we'll be seeing him going fencing before long. A couple that we haven't looked at is Deb's Ball, the winner of this race last year, and she just went off the boil slightly after that. She ran a decent enough race up at Haydock, but I thought that this course actually suited her. The other one that we haven't mentioned, the other two, Ambuscade returning after a long absence. He's the mount of Carl Llewellyn, and also Newton Point, who's got fitness on his side. He's had 2 runs so far this season, but there are looks as though Newton Point's going to take him along. A long way to go. Here's Rory.
It's a long way indeed, 3 miles and a furlong, and that embraces 12 flights of hurdles. And it's Newton Point making the early running by about a length and a half from the favourite Avroanson. After these two, somewhere back in third place on the outside with the red and white cap, that's Deb's Ball. And they're still some 200 yards off the first flight, first of 3 in the back straight. Newton Point and Avroanson, 1 and 2. Moving now to third spot is Triple Witching, just in front of Deb's Ball. And so they approach the first flight of hurdles with Newton Point for trainer Chom George under Chris Maud, jumping the first in front, but Avroanson rather more fluent and has gained ground and is now virtually level. Some way back then, Triple Witching showing in 3 and 4 is Deb's Ball, 5 Halkivus, 6 and 7 are Ambuscade, and finally Cab on Target. On to the second now, and Avroanson really put in a spectacular leap there to take at least 3 lengths out of Newton Point. And this pair is still racing about 8 to 10 lengths up on Triple Witching, and then Deb's Ball in 4 on the outside of Halkivus. Ambuscade is last but 1. Newton Point, they're back in the lead narrowly, but again outjumped by Avroanson. Avroanson hit from the flat. We just had the 1 run on the flat. A bit disappointing, though. He was well beaten in the Cesarewitch. But it's Newton Point on the inside of Avroanson, allowed to go on again as Avroanson is steadied once more by Mark Dwyer. And now they begin this very long run away from the back straight. Newton Point by just over a length from Avroanson, getting a nice lead. And then looking back to the 1 in third, which is still Triple Witching in 4, Deb's Ball, 5 and 6 on the inside, Halkivus, and on the outer, Ambuscade, and the back master, as he's been throughout, is Cab on Target. So they come round into the home straight for this the first time. and make their way on towards what will be the third last after another complete circuit. This time round it's number 4, Newton Point, over against the rails from the noseband in Avro Anson. Newton Point by a good 2 lengths as they near this flight from Avro Anson, and then Triple Riching retaining third place in front of Deb's Ball. Newton Point touches down first from Avro Anson, and a little bit awkward of that flight just wrapped the top bar of the hurdle was Halkipus. He's over on the inside rails. And Cab on Target, although last, is fairly lobbing along as they come on now to flight number 5. Newton Point and Avro Anson still 1 and 2. Triple Witching over on the inside in 3. And behind Triple Witching, Deb's Ball getting a little closer, so too Ambuscade. And then comes Halkipus and Cab on Target. Newton Point virtually rejoined by Avro Anson, whose tongue is lolling out, but he's the favourite, the 2-to-1 favourite. Halkipus second favourite at 3s. Cab on Target 7-2, Triple Witching at 4-to-1, and it's 12-to-1 on that quartet. A circuit to run now. Newton Point still ahead, but only narrowly from Avro Anson. Triple Witching, and the rest are getting closer now. Triple Witching in 3, Deb's Ball 4, trying to win it for the second year running. And then comes Halkipus, Ambuscade last but 1, and still last of all in 7th spot is Cab on Target. So downhill they travel as they make their way towards the far straight, and they've just passed halfway now in this Tote West Yorkshire Hurdle, first of the Grade 2 races here at Weatherby this afternoon. Newton Point really railing well, hugging those inside rails, and he's got about a length and a half to spare over Avro Anson, who from this angle in fact looks to be about level. So they move on towards what was the first. This time around it's number 7, and Newton Point again over first just from Avro Anson. Deb's Ball is starting to make her bid. She's just gone past Triple Witching, and behind those two Halkipus, who is yet to be asked any sort of question. Cab on Target now begins to make a little ground. He goes past Ambuscade, and Ambuscade in some sort of trouble and is being pulled up. Ambuscade did not jump that flight. He was pulled up by Carl Llewellyn. So midway down that far straight, and again it's these two who've been up there fighting for the lead throughout. Newton Point and Avro Anson still together. Deb's Ball on the outside of Triple Witching. Halkipus getting closer all the time, and that's the third member of that trio. And in your picture now is Cab on Target, who is getting a little bit closer. Ambuscade, I confirm, has been pulled up, and that leaves just the 6 as they start to come towards the final 5 furlongs or so of the race. They've only got 3 left to take, all in the home straight. It's Avro Anson then asserting his superiority now. He goes on, but Triple Witching is now looming up as a danger. So too Halkipus, Deb's Ball, and Cab on Target. All these are very, very close indeed as they start the approach to the home turn. Quite a long run still, though, before they get to the first in the straight. Avro Anson, the favourite, Mark Dwyer, Triple Witching and Adrian Maguire in those striped sleeves. Deb's Ball on the outside, Jimmy Moffat, she's getting much closer, poking his head between those two with a noseband. That's Halkipus. And after them, the final pair, Cab on Target and Newton Point, the early leader who's dropped away. This is the third last. Avro Anson, joined here by Halkipus, who's sweetly moved up to get right there into contention. Triple Witching now for the first time beginning to struggle, being asked to quicken by Adrian Maguire, but finding nothing. Down towards the second last. Halkipus it is from Avro Anson, and then Triple Witching again untied that fight. Deb's Ball has it all to do if she's going to take this for the second time, and it's Halkipus now surely all over the winner as they come to the final flight. He's only got to jump it. Halkipus jumps it beautifully for Richard Dunwoody. Avro Anson takes it second, and then Triple Witching back in 3. Cab on Target's gone 4, but he's badly needing this race. And close home as they come up the hill towards the line, it's Halkipus striding away, back on the bridle as he passes the post, the easy winner. Avro Anson second. Cab on Target comes late, can't quite catch Triple Witching. He's third. Cab on Target 4, Deb's Ball 5, and the only other one finished back in 6th and last place, the one who disputed the early running, Newton Point. So a very, very pleasing reappearance for Halkipus. So it's Halkipus who scores on his seasonal reappearance the result of the Tote West Yorkshire Hurdle reading first. Number 5, Halkipus, owned by Mr. Pathos, Christopher, trained at Newmarket by Mark Tompkins, and a 43rd winner of the season for Richard Dunwoody, who now goes 1 ahead of Adrian Maguire. Second, number 1, Avro Anson with Mark Dwyer. Third, number 2, Triple Witching, Adrian Maguire. Fourth home was number 4, Cab on Target. But the writing was on the wall, really, well before the second last, when Halkipus came through, and by the time he approached last, as you can see, Richard Dunwoody, full of confidence, we pick him up, coming towards the line, and he finishes on the bridle. A fine win.
Well, coming to the second last flight, Antonin, who'd been up there in the van all the way, Mark Dwyer must have looked round and thought that Richard Dunwoody had just jumped in on Hal Caboose, who's fairly running away under the champion jockey, just able to dictate over the last couple of hurdles, and ears pricked, and this is certainly the distance for Hal Caboose. As I said before, he's been struggling and tackling longer distances on the flat and doing really well. Ears pricked, going to the last, really good jump. Maybe just took off a little bit off of his front leg more than his back, but still time for Richard Dunwoody just to take a look over his shoulder, and well, reasonably good eyesight needed just to catch a glimpse of the challenger there, Antonin. That win takes Richard on to 43 for the season, one in front of Adrian Maguire. They're in action in our next 3 races. Well, outside of Cheltenham, no better place to ride a winner. This Yorkshire crowd really love their jumping, and great reception there for Mark Tompkins' horse. So, Hal Caboose wins. Let's get an SP.
First number 5, Helcapus, 3-1. Second number 1, Avro Anson, the 2-1 favourite. And third number 2, Triple Witching at 4-1. The tote paid £3.80 for the win. The place is £2.30, £1.50. And the dual forecast £5.10. 7 run. And at Warwick, the 145 went to number 7, Shrewd John at 92. Second number 2, Dextra Dove, 130 favourite. And third number 5, I Am a Zulu at 6-1. On run and 4, 6 run.
So back here at Newmarket, the bell has just rung. The jockeys are getting mounted for the Asco Appliances Marshall Stakes. It's a listed race over a mile. You won't miss a thing. We'll have the race right after the break.
It's all worked out beautifully with the new lagoon.
Did you know you could save money buying your home contents and buildings insurance direct from one of Britain's biggest insurance companies over the phone?
Over the phone? Hello, General Accident Direct.
Call General Accident Direct on 0800 121 004. You could lower your home insurance costs and pay by instalments interest-free. Call General Accident Direct. You could lower your home contents and buildings insurance costs today. Call now on 0800 121 004 and pay by instalments interest-free.
Energy-saving light bulbs. What's the point? I put this ordinary bulb in weeks ago and...
An energy-saving bulb could cut your lighting bill by £50.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1.
Orange think it unfair that you should pay for time you haven't used. And in the future, maybe everyone will think that way. Until then, Orange is the only mobile network to charge you 1 second at a time. Instead of rounding up to the next minute or half minute. The future's bright. The future's orange.
The Bosch Delta Sander puts technology at your fingertips. Easy-to-fit accessories allow you to sand and polish the smallest areas and the tightest corners effortlessly. Bosch. Excellence comes as standard.
National Savings presents Born Free, Tax Free? You proudly watch your savings grow and grow and grow until finally the tax takes a great big bite. Don't let tax swallow your savings. Next time, keep the lot. Invest in tax-free savings from National Savings. For your free copy of our tax-free guide, call 0500 500 000. National Savings. Security has never been so interesting.
Good evening, barman. I'd like a pills, please.
Wrong.
Like a pills, please, sir.
Wrong.
A pills. I want a pills. Pills.
Wrong, wrong,
A
wrong.
pills, please. What? I don't know what you want me to say.
2 syllables rhymes with dose. Didn't recognize it?
It's a pills.
Try walking into your chemist and saying pills, please, and see how quick your hemorrhoids clear up. Look at it.
It's the Holston pills.
Wrong. It's my Holston pills.
Welcome back to Newmarket. Now we've got a bit of history coming up in this Asco Appliances Marshall Stakes because a horse has been leased to run in this race. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago on the morning line we interviewed Peter Staveni, who set up this new company that said you can actually buy a horse or lease a horse for one race and see the colours carried by your horse. Well, I've got two people who are making history because the horse is Lap of Luxury, and with me now John and Doreen Graham. Now, how did this come about? How did you go about it? How much did it cost, John?
Well, we started just on the sponsorship front, and we heard about this, and it seemed a good idea to sort of round the whole thing off. And the total cost is about £3,000.
So you've paid £3,000 to have a runner, basically, in this race. Did you have any colours, Doreen, or not?
Yes, we've got the silks in the Asco colours, with the Asco logo on the sleeves and the name on the collar there.
But
it's great.
And looks absolutely superb, trotting down there. Yeah. It's rather nice. But do you win any money if the horse wins or not? What?
Oh yes, we've got a bet as well with Ladbrokes.
Yeah.
And we stand to at least get half of our money back, which is great.
So it's
half of the leasing money.
So it's cost you about £3,000.
Yeah, but if the horse wins, then we'll get about half of that back.
But the prize money goes to the
normal owners.
And did you have a chat with the owners? What are their thoughts on it?
Yeah. Well, they obviously think a lot of the horse, but I don't think the ground's going to do it any favours today.
The rain has come at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you've had the feel of it. Are you going to do it again? Do you think it's a good idea?
Oh, it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, as long as the business keeps going the way it's going, then we'll do it again next year.
Wish you luck. Hope it goes well for you.
Riding. Who
You
knows?
never know. Good luck, you two.
Okay.
So, a bit of history in this race. A horse that's been leased for the first time. Can it come home first in this Asco Appliances Marshall Stakes? 5 runners. Very interesting race in this one. Just the 5, over a mile, GG.
Number 1 is Nijo. Jason Weaver rides the 6-5 favourite. Top Guide is 7-1 with Walter Swinburne on board. Lap of Luxury down to 130. Pity about the morning rain for Richard Quinn's mount in this race. Our Rita is 8-1 with Ray Cochrane. And Zafar 5-1 ridden by Paul Edery, who wears a black cap. Maktoum Al Maktoum. 2 runners in this listed mile race. Runners at the start.
And there's Nijo, trained by David Loader, who had his first Group 1 winner in Port Lucaia won at Italy yesterday. Had been trained by Gavin Pritchard-Gordon until his last outing, when he won very easily over a mile at York, beating Ultimo Imperatori 3.5 lengths. He's won on this sort of ground, dead ground and soft anyway, and he's clearly going the right way. And the Newmarket Bush Telegraph has been reporting all week that this horse has been working exceptionally well at home. He's clearly going to take some beating. The informed Jay Weaver in the saddle, and 6-5 favourite suggests that the punters have decided Nijo's the one. Top Guide was from Ed Dunlop's yard. He's only won twice in his life. He was a good second in his maiden a year ago behind Wishing here, and won first time up this season when beating F. Bart at Kempton. But that was back in May, so it's virtually 6 months since he's run. He's reportedly had a splint problem. He's clearly useful. He's had his problems, and at 7-1 in the market, it suggests there's no enormous confidence. And Lap of Luxury, leased by the sponsors. I'm afraid my view of this marvellous mare, who I think if she stays in training much longer will bankrupt me, as I never get her right. I think I have got her right today, and that is the ground has gone against her. She's always been a top of the ground mare. She won the very competitive Bradford and Bingley Handicap at York at the big Ebor meeting, and then won a good stakes race at Doncaster on Ledger Day. But as I say, The ground must have gone against Lap of Luxury today, though I wish the sponsors and their £3 fling the best of luck. Well, you could give Zafaf a chance on a form with Kissing Cousin in the Coronation Statesman 6, but she's been very lightly raced and she's clearly had training troubles as well. But both her wins have come on good to soft, and she should have come on for a run behind Lap of Luxury at Ascot earlier in the month. That was her first outing for 4 months. But again, 5 to 1 on the market. It does look like the punters have latched onto Nijo and put the others in the too difficult tray. And our Rita won the Lincoln this year and has had a break from May until earlier this month, and again behind Lap of Luxury. Bound to improve for that run. She's a really tough mare, loves this ground, has that rare combination of guts, a turn of foot and an ability to go in this sort of cut.
And now Rita in the market at 7 to 1 from 8 to 1. Nijo is the 5 to 4 favourite. Lap of Luxury 100 to 30 back from 3s. Zafaf 11 to 2 from 5s. Top Guide on 7s along with our Rita, and they're all quoted.
Fairly solid support for Nijo. A little bit of money for our Rita, who clearly has everything in her favour today. But we'll see if Jason Weaver can continue this wonderful run and land a treble here with the seller already in the bag, and then that very promising win with Double Eclipse. And Graham, what caught your eye on the way down?
Well, Zafaf didn't, that's for certain. Paul Edery's mount here. She's sweated out quite badly, didn't move with any degree of fluency or two, although she has won in soft ground. Witness her 2 successes earlier in the early part of the season, but she looks just a little bit on top of herself, really, in some ways. A little bit flighty. And if the Weaver wave doesn't continue to roll, well, perhaps our Rita could be the one to come from off the pace. Early pace in the race could come from this black-capped runner Zafaf, who's currently trading at 5 to 1. Nijo at 11 to 10, 7 to 1 and bigger the others. Lap of Luxury trading at 100 to 30. Zafaf has made the running, did front run when she won at Ascot, but she doesn't look very keen about going forward and getting on with her racing, does she? Doesn't look very happy with life at all. And you can't blame her. Probably enjoying a munch in the stables this morning and had to be guarded here to run in what is quite inclement conditions. Paul Edery has the ride. Nijo then could come from off the pace. That's going to be set by Zafaf. Our Rita finishes with a flourish. And Zafaf, this crease filly being eased into the stalls. Lap of Luxury, some newspapers had colours of white and yellow about Lap of Luxury, but they're now racing in the Asco jacket of red and white. And Zafaf, stall handlers normally get their way, and good to see plenty in attendance here with big fields. 30 runners in the sell-up early on in the afternoon, and they have caught up their time very well indeed here at Newmarket. Just a minute past post time for this, the Asco Appliances Marshall Stakes. The first race was a little bit late, and they race away. So let's see who goes out and plays the hare. For the hounds, it is Zafaf who leads. Zafaf with Nijo setting the pace to the grey Lap of Luxury, and then we have the lightly raced Top Guide. The back marker is our Rita, who normally comes with a flourish, but it's Nijo that leads. Nijo leading, and the animals come in one by one, and just a 5-runner lineup, and they do look a very, very lonely sight indeed coming down the centre of the Rowley Mile track, and it's Nijo leading. Nijo then, that's the leader, and he is a good length to the good. There goes Zafaf in second place. Then we have Lap of Luxury in third, followed by Top Guide, and our Rita is fifth of the 5. As they come down past the halfway stage in the Marshall Stakes with Nijo leading, then Zafaf in second, and then Lap of Luxury, and then Top Guide, and our Rita is travelling well for Ray Cochran, stepping up in class, but she's going to come with a run now as they come past the 3 furlong marker, but the favourite Nijo still just has the edge by a length to Zafaf in second, then Lap of Luxury, striding out well on this rain-softened ground. On the right for the light blue cap Top Guide. The diamond cap out the back is our Rita. They're inside the final quarter mile now, and it's Nijo, Jason Weaver, the man on the roll, Lap of Luxury in second, Zafaf in third. Arita is coming to share third. They've got a furlong to go, and it's Nijo who still just has the edge. Lap of Luxury is putting in a big finish to far side. But it's Nijo holding on from Lap of Luxury. Lap of Luxury is closing with every stride. Nijo holds on by 3 parts of the length. That's the line. Nijo makes all. Lap of Luxury, a big run for the sponsors in second. Back to Arita in third, and the Maktoum pair, well, Zafar beat Top Guide. So the result then of this, the Asker Appliances Marshall Stakes, it's a win for number 1, Nijo, in the colours of Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum, trained by David Loader, the 11 to 10 favourite. Jason Weaver's 194th winner of the season, and the hat-trick on this closing day at Newmarket. For the green jacket he wears here on Nijo, he's made all the running. This Topville horse doesn't look the easiest of rides, but he's certainly kept him up to his work from the end. Pricking his ears inside the final furlong, but the ears are right back, and he doesn't look enthusiastic about going forward at all, but he's got enough to take this. Nijo from the second horse home, Lap of Luxury, the grey, whose the rain this morning certainly spoiled her chances.
Well, there was plenty of stages in the closing stages here when it looked like Lap of Luxury was going to do the sponsors a good turn and confirm that I can never get it right. But Jason Weaver kicked on Nijo 3 furlongs out. Although Nijo shows every single symptom of not liking it, strange way he carries his head, his ears go back, and when Jason gets the stick out, his tail swishes around. He also comes over towards the rail a long way. He actually does the job well enough, let's face it. I mean, he doesn't pack it in entirely. Lap of Luxury, trying on this ground that she doesn't like to pull him back, has run a tremendous race on the far side, and Arita sticking on. But Jason Weaver, they all come alike to him. He can ride them from the front, ride them from behind, and this is a tricky and difficult ride, and he's persuaded him to go and win his race and do the punters a good turn. Returned at 11 to 10. The money talked. Lap of Luxury did her best, but the ground was against her.
Jason Weaver could do no wrong today. 3 winners, and he's going on that double century. Good win for David Loader, who had his first Group 1 success with Port Lucaya in Italy a couple of days ago. Here's the SP.
Number 1, Nijo, the 11 to 10 favourite, made it a 135.5 to 1 treble for the jockey. Second, number 3, Lap of Luxury, 130, and third, number 4, Arita at 7 to 1 and 5 rounds. At Ascot, the 205 is won by number 4, Call Home, 11 to 8 favourite. Second, number 1, Cruise Castle at 8 to 1, and third, number 2, Binder, 7 to 1, 8 rounds.
Now then, if you're following Jason Weaver, you're probably having a very, very good afternoon. But if you're not, well, how would you like to try and win £100 in the picture puzzle? If you missed it this morning, if you missed the morning line, here it is. I think it's a good one, this. 0891 991144. She's obviously getting some sort of a shock there. Hello, he says, and there's a Newmarket Square if you can't read that in the background. If you can work that out, not only will you win £100, you will also win a copy of this brand new video starring Mel Smith as that well-known jockey Miko Smith. It's called From the Horse's Mouth. It's a bit of fun, and that's in the shops now. So the 3 lucky winners will be announced live on Channel 4 this afternoon will receive £100 and a copy of that brand new video. Jason Weaver talking there to David Loader in that funny cap on the right, and it's interesting, the winning jockey of the race sponsors today gets a fridge. And it's interesting, you know, the story of about 10 years ago when Jason wanted to be a jockey. He actually sold his mother's fridge so he could get some money, I think it was about £25, to buy his first pony. That's how he started riding. And when he was presented with this fridge earlier on, he said, "This one's for my mum. She's going to get the fridge back." 10 years on. Now, when Munax sprang a 40 to 1 surprise in the St. Ledger at Doncaster back in September, many people thought it was a fluke result, 40 to 1, even though he did it the hard way. So trainer Barry Hill sent him over to Longchamp last weekend to have a crack at the French St. Ledger, the Prix Royal Oak. Now, Munax was one of 2 British raiders, Munax Pat Edry, 2.4 to 1 second favourite, and also Kithanga, Frankie Dettori, 8.7 to 1. The favourite was Milan at 2.2 to 1, and just look at the courage of this horse that won the Prix Royal Oak.
And Kithanga runs the rail, passed by Munax on the outside. Under half a mile to go, and Moonax stretching into a lead of a length over Kithanga. Green colours, Delara comes through for third place. Coming round the final turn, and Moonax making the best of his way home from Delara, the horse with the noseband on the outside. Always Ernest, the blinkered runner, comes to the run. Kithanga can find no more. Molyneux starts to pick up, but Moonax is going for home. Here comes Delara, the inside in green. Always Ernest on the outside, Molyneux behind these. They're inside the final quarter mile now, and Always Ernest comes to press Moonax, and Always Ernest goes into the lead. They're inside the final furlong. Always Ernest going on from Moonax and Delara. Just under 100 yards to go, and Always Ernest going on. Always Ernest, Moonax starts to rally. They're pulling clear of Delara as they race up towards the line, and Moonax is rallying. Always Ernest to stand side at the post. Moonax takes it from Always Ernest. Delara is third.
Well, this is a case of one who likes it beating one who doesn't like it, and it's a tremendously tough performance from Moonax. So you forgive Barry Hills, who gave him about 3 years off after the tremendously hard race he had at Doncaster. And here, Moonax already gone for home, and on the outside, the 6-year-old Always Ernest, Alan Badell, flips the goggles off. The blinkers are not there for no reason, as they say, and Badell doesn't really go for the horse with the whip. He thinks he can go and do the job, gives him a couple of cracks, and it's all over. Always Ernest has gone and won the race, but Pat's got other ideas, and it's a full soup and fish Eddery drive. And it's not just Eddery's strength here. You watch Moonax's head, he really does stick it out like a terrier and pull back this rather doubtful 6-year-old on the outside, who's chucked away another race similarly. But don't take anything away from Moonax. It's a tremendously tough performance from a horse bouncing back from one very hard classic to take another.
Yeah, a real good performance. He's really come good, that Moonax, and well done to Barry Hills, who moves into his new stables at Lambourne on Monday morning. So he's in for a busy few weeks ahead. That's a nice performance by Moonax, who'll now be spending the winter in Dubai. News just in, by the way, Rory does not run in the 6th race here at Newmarket, just been announced. And by the way, we'll be looking ahead to, looking back on Further Flight, another great favourite who was in action here yesterday. We'll show you how he got on. On our way to rejoining John Frankham at Weatherby, let's get the total returns on our last race here at Newmarket. JT.
Thank you, Derek. And the winner, number 1, Nijo, 11 to 10 favourite, paid $2.10 for the win on the toad. The place is £1.30 and £2 exactly. The dual forecast came to £2.90, and the computer straight forecast paid $4.89 and 5 rand.
Well, we might not have any flat racing up here at Weatherby. We've got a Royal Ascot winner, which is more than you can boast down at Newmarket, Tomo. And the horse that's in question is Silver Wedge, who won the Queen's Vase in June of this year. He's already had one run over hurdles. Must admit he wasn't all that impressive at Kempton, but he's won quite a fascinating lineup for this Wensleydale Juvenile Hurdle race. It's a Grade 2 contest. There's a non-runner. The bottom one, Skeen Do, is a non-runner. That leaves 8. Let's get a list from Rawley.
Yes, this is our second Grade 2 race. £10,000 added money this time. 14 to 1 for Adstar with Graham Bradley. A 20 to 1 shot, Chantry B, David Wilkinson. Then once more for luck, Peter Nevins Mount, 11 to 2. Then the favourite, Silver Wedge, number 4. Adrian Maguire, 11 to 10. 5 is Weather Alert, A.D. Smith at 7 to 1. Number 6 is Belroy. Belroy, partnered by Carl Llewellyn, a 7 to 1 chance. Glenhugie, number 7, Nick Bentley at 5s. Golden Hello, 9 to 1 for Lorcan Wire. And confirmation that Skindu is a non-runner. 8 runners then for the Wensleydale Juvenile Hurdle.
Adrian Maguire will be looking for this horse, Silver Wedge, to put him back level with Richard Dunwoody. But I must admit, he didn't look all that keen at Kempton. He's a horse who probably is going to need 2.5 miles in time. I can remember riding a horse over hurdles that had won the Washington DC International, and we couldn't win a hurdle race with him. He wasn't quick enough. I think this horse, if he gets his jumping together, that was a lot of his problem at Kempton. He wasn't fluent enough, and well, a good jumper and a bad jumper bring horses together that are 2 stone different on the flat. That's Silver Wedge. Let's have a look now at Adstar. Paul Calloway normally finds 1 or 2 nice 3-year-olds to go hurdling from his flat string. Got Bell Genius, of course, running in the Breeders' Cup next weekend. But Adstar, well, he looked quite impressive when he won first time up. That was at Fakenham. And quite resolute as well. He won half a length, was always going to win on that occasion. He's the mount of Graham Bradley. Rides Black Humour in the next. On this side, that's Glenoogie. George Moore won this race last year with Burnton. He's got the most experience of these runners. He's had 4 runs, he's won twice, and the horse that he beat last time out has gone on and Frank the Form has won again since. Nick Bentley, really good jockey, has gone through his claim and got quite a bit of experience under his belt now. Let's have a look at Once More for Luck, because this horse, when he won his first and only run to date here back early in October, well, he had both Belroy and Weather Alert, and there was only a short head between the first 3 home. And, well, Once More for Luck, the mount of Peter Niven, really strong-looking colt, this by Pretorius. But nothing much between those 3, really. One good jump will soon change the form round between them. Golden Hello, that's a nice looking horse by Glint of Gold. Hasn't run yet, he's the only one of these 8 who haven't had a go over hurdles so far. And as you can see, he's a really strongly made horse, this. And he was quite decent on the flat. He won at Ayr, and he also won at Pontefract, put up 1 or 2 decent performances. Sure to have been well schooled. Let's have a look at the latest betting. Even money, Silver Wedge. Big gap then out to Glenoogie. An 11-2 shot. Once More for Luck is 6-1. 7-1 bar the others. So you're taking a punt on whether this Silver Wedge gets his act together or not this afternoon. And Adrian Roy is just going to settle him in, have a little bit of lead. But let's join Roy.
Thanks, John. Weather Alert, the first to jump off, but joined by Chantry Bees as they jump the first. A little bit awkward on landing there, the favourite Silver Wedge, but no mishap to him. Hunting up those 3 over on the inside, that is Belroy, and after them Golden Hello towards the outside. Glenoogie towards the back of the field at the moment in company with Once More for Luck. The present back marker is Ajdar. Once More for Luck rather climbed over that flight, but is all right. He'll warm to his task, doubtless, but it's still Weather Alert and A.D. Smith out in front. Silver Wedge getting closer, throwing his head about a bit, though, between the leader and Chantry Bees up on the outside. Glenoogie with the brown cap jumped that one well. Belroy is hugging the rails over on the inside. All going well within themselves, though, as they come up now to pass the post for the first time. A complete circuit to run, and it's Weather Alert by just over a length from the favourite Silver Wedge with Chantry Bees, and then Belroy, still very close, Glenoogie, and then the blue jacket, white cap of Golden Hello, and the back markers still Once More for Luck and Ajdar. Weather Alert, though, continues to make the running as they start the downhill sweep towards the back straight from Silver Wedge. And then right after those 2, and close again on the inside, Belroy with Chantry Bees, Glenoogie, then Golden Hello, Once More for Luck. And remaining last of the 8 runners still is Ajdar with Graham Bradley. So they make their way towards flight number 4 of the 9 in this race. Weather Alert is ahead, but only by about a length from the favourite, now moving into second. That's Silver Wedge, of course. Then Chantry Bees very close. Belroy, Golden Hello, Glenoogie, and the final 2, 7 and 8, Once More for Luck and Ajdar. They're fast approaching number 5, and it's going to be Weather Alert again taking off just first. Weather Alert touches down first from Silver Wedge, and then Chantry Bees. After them, Belroy, Golden Hello towards the outside of Glenoogie. And these are the SPs. It's even Silver Wedge, 11-2 joint second favourites, Glenoogie and Once More for Luck, and 15-2 bar those 3. The favourite at the moment going pretty nice. Although again, he's throwing his head about his Silver Wedge, but perhaps that's just keenness on his part. Silver Wedge, of course, has been out already this term, out as 1. And now they have this long run before they come round towards the home straight, and in the straight they'll have just 3 flights to take. Silver Wedge and Chantry Bees now both going past Weather Alert. Golden Hello starts to improve quite rapidly, and then Glenoogie hanging on. Belroy still going the shortest way, Once More for Luck, and Ajdar with Graham Bradley now beginning to get just a little bit anxious. Swinging for home then, and they're inside the final 3.5 furlongs of this Wensleydale Juvenile hurdle, and it's Silver Wedge and Chantry Bees together now. Golden Hello, Once More for Luck starts to make ground in that striped jacket, red sleeves. Nearing the third from home, Silver Wedge, the white blazed chestnut from Chantry Bees. Silver Wedge over on the inside, takes off and lands together with Chantry Bees that just pecked a bit on landing. Golden Hello is almost on terms now. Belroy is being asked to quicken up again on the inside as Glenugie comes. Chantry B is out of speed. Once more for luck. Flattered only to deceive. This is the second last. Golden Hello coming through now to try and tackle Silver Wedge, who's gone into the lead. But Adrian Maguire really having to roust the favourite with one to take. They're coming down towards the final furlong. Silver Wedge being kept up to his business. He swerves away to the right, though, over in front of Golden Hello. Glenugie is coming there to try and challenge for second place. Then Belroy. But it's Silver Wedge who's got this one absolutely sewn up now, striding away up towards the line. The favourite Silver Wedge and Adrian Maguire back level with Richard Dunwoody. Golden Hello is second, Glenugie third. Belroy just catches Weather Alert the early lead over the last three, but once more for luck. Hatchstar made very little show indeed, and Chantry B, who probably needed that race and dropped back to be last of all. And so the outcome of the Wensleydale Juvenile Hurdle, this Grade 2 race, it's a win for number 4, Silver Wedge, his second win of the season, and it's another winner for David Nicholson, who won the first at Warwick today with Zaitoon. David Nicholson, the temple-getting trainer. Adrian Maguire's third and 43rd winner of the season. In second place was number 8, Golden Hello, with Lorcan Maguire in third. Number 7, Glenugie, Nick Bentley, and they've all jumped the last. And coming up this quite stiffish hill towards the line, Silver Wedge in the end comes home with a very clear margin indeed to take this one in good style. So the favourite obliges, hairs pricked at the line, the 43rd winner of the season for Adrian Maguire. The big two now level again.
He didn't run a bad race, did he?
Well, looked a different horse here this afternoon, Silver Wedge. He really jumped with enthusiasm today. He was getting half a length at most of his hurdles, was just challenged here by Golden Hello, travelled well throughout the race for Lorcan Maguire. They both got just a bit close to that, but it was Silver Wedge who's probably just a better, well, a lot better class on the flat. There's no doubt about it, we're going to get this trip. Adrian Maguire out was able to just get him back on the bridle again. You'll watch him just pricking his ears in a second. Just comes to the last, gets a good jump out of him. They're quite big, these hurdles here at Weatherby, and from then on in, well, he was never going to be short of stamina, having won over 2 miles at Royal Ascot. And the further he goes, the better he's gone. He's going to be a horse to keep an eye on now. I must admit, having watched him at Kempton, I thought that, well, he was going to go one way or the other. David Nicholson will be delighted with the way he's performed this afternoon.
First number 4, Silver Wedge, even money favourite. Second number 8, Golden Hello, a 10-1. And third number 7, Glenugie, 11-2. The tote paid $2.20 the win. The place is 110, 260 and 140. The dual forecast £7.50. And the completed straight forecast $12.17. And on runner was number 9 and 8 ran. And of Warwick, the 220 went to number 7, Kamikaze, 4-1. Second number 15, Idiot's Lady, 7-1. And third number 3, Father Power, at 16-1. Number 20, Shrew Lawn, was 2-1 favourite, 20 ran.
So that's it, back even Stevens now. Just listen to the reception this horse is getting. And back 43 winners apiece, Adrian Maguire and Richard Dunwoody. And he's now a 14-1 chance for the Triumph Hurdle next March. And that's with Corals. He's a 20-1 shot with William Hill, and I dare say that there'll be plenty more favourites come and go between now and the festival meeting. Well, David Nicholson, Adrian Maguire, they'll be teaming up with a favourite for the next one. It's our big race, the Charlie Hall Pattern Chase, coming up after the break.
If you're about to buy a mobile phone, the way to avoid slipping up is to go to People's Phone and check out which of our 12 tariffs is cheapest for you. People's Phone, where talk is cheaper. For your nearest shop, call 0345 10 11 12.
We're out of honey. Come on, Teddy, let's nip down to the shops. Oh, blimey, a traffic warden. Hey, Vernon! Come on, Teddy, another ticket would be too grisly. Will you get in? All right, Vern, you're worse than a bear with a sore head, you are. Oh, this is nice. Yes, it's a Renault 5 Campus. Yeah, 5-speed gearbox. Yes, but, oh, reverse is my favourite. Oh, lovely stereo. Whoa! Nippy, this 1.4 engine, isn't it? You need the bare necessities, mate.
The Renault 5 Campus, now only 5555 on the road.
The Bosch cordless drill puts technology at your fingertips. It allows you to drill and screw dry effortlessly. Its battery is rechargeable up to 1,000 times. And its quick-changing keyless chuck makes life even easier. Bosch. Excellence comes as standard.
What are you doing? Staying awake, Mostyn. I have to be at my bank first thing, and I can't take the chance of oversleeping.
Look, for the 100th time, just get an Alliance current account. They got 24-hour phone banking.
You mean
Yes!
So I need...
No! Yes, there is!
Call now for more details about an Alliance account.
How are you,
Hi,
sir? Nice
I'm
to
looking
see
for
you.
a new car. Like my old car, but with a little
more room.
Yes.
More economy. Lower emission.
No problem. Right.
He wants a new car, like his old car, only better.
Better.
Do you work out? Huh?
Texaco's new Clean System 3 is designed to clean more thoroughly than ever before. It gets to work from the first tank full.
Like your old car, but better.
Hey, what are you trying to pull?
Take her for a test drive.
Use it regularly, and given time, you could feel you're in a different car.
I'll take it. In avocado.
New Clean System 3 from Texaco. Test drive it today.
Tropical Places are specialists for exotic holidays at affordable prices in beautiful locations. Turn to Teletext page 333 now for latest details.
If you're over 30 and you don't call 0800 33 0800, you'll never know how much you might save on car insurance.
Happy Shopper, more cola and more lemonade, 50% more free for only 49p. Happy Shopper, more for less when you see this sign.
Clerics and medics, surveyors and lawyers, airline pilots, policewomen, stuntmen. Since 1824, we've looked after the investment, pension and life assurance needs of all kinds of professional people. Who are we? Clerical medical, of course. The choice of the professional.
Welcome back. The jockey's just getting mounted for our next race here, which is a very good conditions race over 6 furlongs. 2-year-olds taking on 3-year-olds. Be very interesting to see who comes out on top. But a few minutes ago, we had the presentation for our last race, the ASCO Appliances Marshall Stakes.
Come on.
And Sheikh Ahmad is going to get an ASCO washing machine. But the Loader household is not forgotten. Mrs. Loader will get an ASCO compact dishwasher, so it's clean coffee cups from now on.
David Loader in good form, he's getting something as well. It's marvellous, they've got them all here, and the winning jockey, owner and trainer all get some sort of appliance, so it's proving very popular, their sponsorship today, and David Loader representing the owner there, Sheikh Ahmed. Now then, we have news coming in of the Melbourne Cup, the big race, of course, in Australia on Tuesday morning our time. It's off about 4 a.m. Tuesday morning. Quick Ransom has been drawn in 1, right on the inside, currently quoted 7-1. Cliveden Gale, Willie Carson flies out tonight, flying from here to Heathrow, flies out overnight to ride Cliveden Gale, that's 12-1. And Vintage Crop, who'll be coming out of 17, last year's winner, is currently on offer at 6-1. But his participation, last year's winner, depends on a crucial spin on the track tomorrow morning. Let's go back to Weatherby. I think John Frankham has some interesting interviewing.
Right, two jockeys in form this afternoon for the season. Richard Dunwoody, Adrian Maguire, and Run for Free. Richard, you ride him in the next race. Have you ridden him before?
Yes, I sat on him at home a couple of times and schooled him the other day, and he's in very good form.
And how is he? I mean, is he fit enough? He hasn't run since he ran at Liverpool.
Yeah, I'd say he's in good form, and he'll give a good account of himself.
Now, you could be having a good little tussle at the front, you two, because Adrian Barton Bank, he bowls along as well, isn't he?
Usually, yes.
And who's going to give way, or are you just going to have a nice little sit-up side, go a married man's gallop? I don't think that would be possible with it with Barton Bank.
Depends. If he settles, we'll take a lead. If he doesn't settle, I don't think anything will be quick enough to lie up with him anyway if he doesn't settle.
And has he matured with his jumping a little bit since last year when you've been schooling him?
He's the same. He jumped. Woody told him all he knows.
Gosh, you've ridden him a fair bit as well.
I did. I rode him in his novice year, and he hasn't changed much.
So if he's really good, then you're responsible, and if he's really bad, then he's just taken over from Adrian. Yeah. And what are the main dangers?
It's an opening up race. Say Antonin, you could run around down the lot of them, like him, if they're all on the day. You know, it's a fairly hot race.
And trying not to cut each other's throats as well, I should think.
That's it. Yeah, young Hester would be sat on our tails. He'd be waiting to pounce.
And impressed with Half-Caboose earlier?
Was very impressed with him, and I said to Mark, will he get the trip? I was just a little bit worried in my mind anyway. He said he'd get it, and that's what he showed.
And Silver Wedge, different horse altogether this afternoon.
Different horse today, yeah. Knew what the job was about today, and didn't have Richard and Woody running around and falling off his horse.
Well, they both won easily. The biggest certainty is that you're both not going to have an easy win in the next race, but let's hope you both do well anyway. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Now, more news in from Australia today. Robert Sangster flew in from Dubai, and just hours after landing, he saw Blevick win the Victorian Derby, so he's in good form down under. Blevick is by Scenic. That's the horse, of course, won the Dewhurst here a few years ago. But the jockey, Rod Griffiths, who rode in Ireland a couple of years ago, good jockey, he won that race, but later on got suspended for careless riding, and he was done for a month. They don't mess about down under. Talking of races abroad, the Breeders' Cup next weekend, of course. I told you this morning that Distant View had worked well. Eltish also worked well, the 2-year-old. Henry Cecil's got 2 runners, and John Higgins just bumped into him in the toilet, would you believe? And he said that horse worked very nicely. So we might be a good challenge for the Breeders' Cup next Saturday. The sad news this week, though, has been the very bad fall for former jockey Dick Marshall, who was riding out for Ed Dunlop here at Newmarket. The horse was only walking at the time, crossed his legs, he went over the top, and down he came, and he is in a critical condition in Addenbrooke's hospital. He is still unconscious, and we wish him, our prayers go out to him and his family, and we wish him, hopefully, a recovery. That's Dick Marshall, the former jockey. On to our next race here at Newmarket now. The runners are down at the start for the ASCO Appliances Quality Condition Stakes. 2 non-runners here, 3 Rebellion, 7 is Muktabas. I very much like number 8, Night Hero. Looked good in the paddock, but it's the youngsters taking on the 3-year-olds. Who's going to come out on top? 10 runners from GG.
Be Warned, a 6-to-1 chance is ridden by Paul Weatherby. Takadu comes from off the pace, 14-to-1. Billy Nunes. Rebellion doesn't take part, depriving Jason Weaver of a hat-trick. International Star, 50-to-1 is ridden by Emma O'Gorman. And number 5, Blinker for the first time, Lovely Me. 50-to-1 chance, Ray Cochran. That horse went rather freely down to the start. Susik is 7-to-1 with Frankie Dettori. Muktabas doesn't take part. Night Hero does. The 11-to-10 favourite. Move Well, Walter Swinburne. Number 9 is Admiral's Guest. That's ridden by Richard Quinn at 14-to-1. Nawamis, the unknown quantity at 9-to-2, is the mount of Willie Carson. Fantasy Racing at 12-to-1, Kevin Darley. Silver Galaxy, 16-to-1, David Harrison. That's the lineup then for the ASCO Appliances Quality Condition Stakes. It's 6 furlongs, the trip.
Well, Night Hero is the top of the market, 11-to-10. And this horse, who was made favourite here a fortnight ago and quickened really well to win probably a little bit comfortably from Dreamboat. He looks as if the race is doing good that day, and you would think that this $800,000 yearling is clearly a very interesting prospect. It was firm, though, when he ran here and won the other day, and take nothing away from him. We just don't know what he's going to be like on this ground. One thing you would be sure of is that they wouldn't haul him about on it, but clearly on the book, he's got every entitlement to his place as a hot favourite at the head of the market. Well, Be Warned can look a bit of a character in the preliminaries, but he's an absolute model of consistency when it comes to the sharp end of racing itself. And he's been in the frame in each of his last 7 outings. He was second in a valuable handicap at York last time out, and basically has been in blinding form all year. He's a battle-hardened 3-year-old taking on 2-year-olds, of whom obviously greater things are expected, but his experience will make it tough for the younger generation, and this is his ideal trip. He's won on dead ground, and he's going to make them go. Well, Novices, this is the absolute dark horse of the race. A very well-bred Dejeur colt, who's a half-brother to John Dunlop's very useful colt, Lahib. I mean, really, we're here in the dark waiting for enlightenment. 9-2, second best in the market. And today, he looks very well, possibly a shade big. Today will tell us how good he's going to be next year. Shoe Sick has been running over 7 furlongs and a mile. Didn't quite get home last time and beaten half a length by Amaret at Haydock. Has the invaluable assistance of F. de Tory today. And James Fanchall's yard have been finding a bit of form recently with 4 wins in the last fortnight. And he's third but fourth, just 4th best in the market, 7-1. Silver Galaxy was a horse who was made favourite first time out for her maiden at Salisbury in August. Looked in need of the run that day and was a bit green and was well beaten. But she's a half-sister to State Performer, who's pretty useful sort. And although not fancied today, this is one to keep an eye on for the future. It looks at the moment as if Night Hero, the punters think it's a one-horse race. And Fantasy Racing, number 11. This was a horse won in a competition run by the Sporting Life, no less. The lease for the year went to Peter Bonar, who's had some fun. She was beaten over 5 furlongs earlier in the week at Lingfield. Be better suited by this trip. It's been a big fun venture for all involved. Mick Channon's done brilliantly with her. International Star, well, you can have 50-1 here, and I don't think they'll be fighting for that down in the ring. Emma O'Gorman doing the steering. Has been a bit troublesome on occasions going out to the start this season. 50-1 might be on the slightly niggardly side. It'll now go in on railway lines, of course, having said that, but that's the way of the world.
So, Night Hero down to even money. Novices at 9-2, Be Warned 6-1, Sushik at 7-1. And just waiting for Night Hero to load. A bit warm down at the start. International Star will be the last to go in for this 6-furlong dash. And half expecting Lovely Me to be up there early, unless Ray Cochrane can get it back early on. With a keen hold going down to the start. And if it doesn't go on, funny enough, there isn't a guaranteed front runner in this 6-furlong pace. And 1 or 2 slow to go. Admiral's Guess was slowly away. And it is Lovely Me that puts the pace of the race. Fantasy Racing is racing alone, and virtually on the stands rail is just a length off the pace. That's on the extreme right, Fantasy Racing. Just a small field, but they're split into 3 groups. Lovely Me leads the main charge just in front of Sushik down the centre of the track. Nearest to us at racing pace we have Fantasy Racing, whilst on the far side it's Night Hero giving a good lead to Novices. And they're through the first 3 furlongs. They're all over the shop. It's Lovely Me that has the edge from Sushik and International Star. Fantasy Racing's the lone raider on the extreme right, and the favourites on the left. They come past the bushes, and they've got 2 to go. Down the centre, it's still Lovely Me who has it. Sushik in grey and maroon getting closer. Novices has come to take Night Hero. On the stand side, Fantasy Racing, just over a furlong to go. The newcomer Novices on the left has come through to take it up now. They're inside the final furlong. And it's Novices under Willie Carson going 3 clear of Night Hero and Sushik as they race up towards the line. It's Novices drawing right away from these at the post. Novices has it. Novices, Night Hero in second, Sushik third, Takadu 4, Be Warned 5. A couple of legs back to Lovely Me. Then Fantasy Racing didn't come on home at all, but beat International Star. The slow starting Admiral's Guest and Silver Galaxy, well, that's got some way to go to be a star. The result then of this, the Asco Appliances Quality Condition Stakes at 5-1. Number 10, Novices has won in the colours of Hamdan Al Maktoum, trained by John Dunlop and ridden by Willie Carson on the extreme left there. And this horse has given a good lead to Night Hero gave him a good lead, but Novices has the advantage of the running rail. We didn't know how good he is, this son of Dejeur. We do now. he's better than the average. He's hit the track over 6 furlongs, and he's come home in good style. Here's Prince.
Well, from practically 2.5 furlongs out, there was only going to be one winner, and that was the dark horse Novices, who, despite the theory that some dangers prefer it pretty quick, has absolutely sleuthed through this. And Willie just keeps him up to his work. He's known from 2 furlongs out. He's got the measure of the favourite on the far side, on whom they're not hard, and doesn't really look to be enjoying the ground. And the further they go, the further Novices is going to win. Sushik's run a perfectly respectable race here on this side of the favourite going on up the rail. And Takadu comes late and fast, but really there's only one in it. Novices, an above-average recruit, slightly easy on the market, 5s from 9 to 2, but delivered the goods.
So the youngsters showing their elders the way home. Both first and second were the 2-year-olds. And I was down at John Dunlop stable the other day and just said goodbye to Erhard, who's going over to Japan soon, the Derby winner, to stand as a stallion over there. And Willie Carson, as I said, will be flying over to Australia to partner Clifton Gale in the Melbourne Cup. And this must bring back memories for him, because this horse is by Desjeux. Remember the horse that jumped the shadow and just missed out on winning the Breeders' Cup Sprint. SP, JT.
First number 10, Novices at 5 to 1. Second number 8, Night Hero, even money favourite. And third number 6, Shusik at 7 to 1. They paid £5.70 for the win. The place is 140, 140 again, and 170. The dual forecast £4.20. Non-runners were numbers 3 and 7, and 10 ran. At Ascot, the 240 went to number 1, Storm Alert, 11 to 4. Second number 3, Oh So Grumpy, 15 to 8 favourite. And third number 5, Lakandara at 7 to 2. The tape returns here. The winner paid £3.80. The place is 2.10 and 1.40. And the dual forecast came to £3.40 and 6 ran.
Now, as the horses come back here into the winner's enclosure, I must tell you that Multi-York, who sponsor racing to the value of £100,000, had a competition, a trainers' championship here at Newmarket that's been running this season. And this is the last racing day of the season at Newmarket. They made the presentation earlier on. And it wasn't a Newmarket trainer who won it, surprisingly. It was the Epsom trainer, Reg Akers. Now, it's awarded to a trainer who not is the most successful. It's done on the amount of horses in his stable. And Reg Akers has done well to win that £5,000. He will receive £1,000 of that, and £4,000 will be distributed amongst his stable staff. So I think there'll be one hell of a party in Epsom tonight. Well done, the Reg Akers stable. Now the big race of the day, the big steeplechase. It's coming up. Let's go back to Weatherby and John Frankham.
Yes, an absolute cracker for this Charlie Hall chase. 3 miles to go, 7 runners, and all of them making their debut. And well, apart from the fact there's some real top-class names in it, we've got last year's Hennessy winner Cogent. We've also got Cab on Target, who won the King George, and he actually broke the course record in this race here last year. Apart from that, it's just a fascinating race tactically, because there'll be fitness to be thinking about. 3 or 4 front runners and a couple of decent horses that'll be coming from behind. Jockeyship's going to play a big part of this. Before we get on to the warm-up, let's get a list of the runners and riders from Rawley.
Thanks, John, for this race, which commemorates the local trainer Charlie Hall, who sent out Doorknocker to win the Champion Hurdle in 56, and then Clear Cut the Maxon Gold Cup in 75. The 7 runners for this £30,000 added race, headed by number 1, Barton Bank, Adrian Maguire, the 5 to 4 favourite. Number 2, Deep Bramble, Chris Maud at 14 to 1. 3 is Young Hustler, Carl Llewellyn at 7 to 1. 4, Black Humour, also at 7 to 1 for Graham Bradley. Number 5 is the highly promising Antonin. John Burke, his regular rider, a 5 to 1 chance today. Then the outsider Cogent, number 6 for Downford, 20 to 1. And lastly, number 7, Run for Free, the mount of the champion jockey Richard Dunwoody at 9 to 2. 7 runners then for the big race, the Charlie Hall Chase.
So runners beginning to come out for this race, and 3 miles and half a furlong to go. I had a walk round when I came here yesterday, and they've kept the grass really long here to give it plenty of cover. But there's the favourite, Barton Bank. And you know, Richard Dunwoody saying earlier, or Adrian Maguire rather, saying that he hadn't changed his jumping style since running last year. Remember, this horse broke a blood vessel after absolutely scooting it in the King George. First time that we've seen him run since, but that was probably one of the best races we saw all of last jumping season. A really thrilling finish. Let's enjoy it again.
5 in line. Would you believe it as they come to take the second lap? And what a terrific jump Zetas lad, but was the only one slightly uncomfortable. And Barton Bank has the edge from the fellow on Bradbury Star, who's yet to make his challenge. Here comes Bradbury Star on the stand side to come and lead the final fence in the lead, but Barton Bank won't be denied. The fellow, the Frenchman's cook. It's Barton Bank and Bradbury Star doing battle as they race up towards the line. Barton Bank digging deep, holding on. Bradbury Star, one more challenge. Not enough. Barton Bank takes it.
What a fabulous race that was. Really got bags of courage, this horse, and so's the jockey on board. It's far from an easy ride. He makes him look relatively easy, but I can assure you, having done it, it's not an easy task that he faces. Adrian Maguire, and earlier, just after Silver Wedgie won, asked trainer David Nicholson how he thought this horse had fared.
I mean, he's as fit as he was last year. He's the same weight as he was last year. He's done all his work with King of the Lot and Bernstein Fox. They were 1-1 on Thursday, 1-1 almost fourth yesterday. Very happy.
And he's been schooling well?
Job superb. Had 3 good sessions schooling. Very happy. I mean, they're a bit bigger up here than they were a year ago.
And obviously no recurrence of his blood vessel.
Touch wood, no.
Touch wood. Keep your fingers crossed for you in the race too.
Cheers, John. Thank you.
So a really exciting prospect, there's no doubt about that, Barton Bank. But let's have a look at the one Northern representative in this race, and we'll bring the house down if Antonin can actually stick his head in front here. He was one of the most improved chasers of last year, and you might notice that he's running in the colours of Mr. Bailey's, of course the winner of this year's 2,000 guineas, and Bailey's horse feeds have taken a half share in this horse. Began running over 2 miles and progressed right the way throughout the season. He won the Rich Chase at Cheltenham and ran a tremendous race in the Whitbread. Came again, having looked well beaten from the home turn, to run on to be a really good second. Well, he comes from the smallish table up here. Sue Bramall is the lady who's responsible for handling him, and she's been having a good run with her horses so far. And I asked her earlier just how fit she thought this horse was.
He's just been out at grass. He was one of the last ones in, and he seems to have got himself fit just because he always runs away with himself every day.
And he never stopped improving last year. Do you think he's improved, you know, with a couple of months break?
Couldn't tell.
That's very non-committal. But have you taken him anywhere? Has he been out of race course gallop or anything?
Yes, he had one the other day. He worked very well, but no better than anybody else.
And how about the Danes? I mean, they're going to go a good gallop here this afternoon.
Barton Bank, everybody else, really.
So there you go, keeping plenty to herself. Sue Bramall, he's a mounted John Burke. Gets on really well with this horse. Quite clever. Can make the odd mistake, but always seems to be able to find a leg. Right, let's have a look at Deep Bramble. This is a horse who was doing most of his racing in Ireland and ran a good race over there last year. We must really remember him being second to Joe Darmy. Great big chaser. He's being trained with the Hennessy in mind, this horse. Paul Nicholls, who's taken him over from Michael Hurrigan, who trained him all of last season. He was actually bought as a replacement for Seymour Indians, who was tragically killed last year. And Paul Nicholls was having a good start to the season. I asked him earlier just how he thought this horse was taken to being trained in England.
It's nice to have him, having lost Seymour Indians last year, and hopefully he'll sort of give us some fun during the winter that we'd hoped Seymour would have done. He's done a lot of work since we've had him, been very pleased with him. He scored very well on Sunday. saying that, I'm really here to get a run into him before the Hennessy. At the weights, I've got a stiff task today. The horses have been running well, especially our chasers, and I think he's fairly fit. But having not trained him last year, I'm guessing as to whether he's, I don't really know his racing weight yet, and I'm guessing as to how fit he is. But we're here today to get a nice blow into him, win, lose, or draw before the Hennessy. That's our real target.
And here's how they bet. Barton Bank is the 11 to 10 favourite from 5 to 4. Run for Free is 9 to 2, back from 4 to 1. And Antonin is steady on 5s. Black Humour is 13 to 2 from 15 to 2. Young Hustler back to 7 to 1 from 8 to 1. Deep Bramble on 14s. And Cogent's the outsider at 20 to 1. And they're all quoted for the Charlie Hall Chase.
There's Run for Free. Richard Dunwoody on board this horse, second to Zeta's Lad up at Haydock, first run last year. Had Joe Darmy and Antonin behind him, and ran some good races after that. Ran a good third when he was behind Juvacilla in the time form chase, and also Young Hustler just dividing those, and then didn't get the best of runs really in the National, just got balked and eventually refused. He's not an easy horse to ride, that's for certain. You may remember him winning the Scottish National with Mark Roy, missed the break, and he can hang to his left quite badly, but he's got the right man on board in Richard Dunwoody. Let's have a look at Young Hustler. He's won £50 already for his lad, Alan Shakespeare, for the best turned out. Third in the Gold Cup. I think he's great value here at 7 to 1. It's a fascinating Charlie Hall. Let's join Rawley.
Thank you, John. Yes, a fascinating race, as you say. They're running, and they have 18 fences, 9 on each circuit, each taken twice, and the first ones to go on are Young Hustler, right against the rails, Run for Free. After them, the favourite Barton Bank, Deep Bramble up towards the outside with the light green sleeves. Then over against the rails, the outsider Cogent. The last two in this early part of the race are Antonin. And finally comes a Black Humour. And still about half a furlong to go at least before they get to the first fence, the first of the 5 in that far straight, and as they near it now, it is Run for Free who's gone on. Run for Free has taken up the running from a Young Hustler, then Barton Bank and Cogent. This is the first now, and Run for Free very slow, and it was a Young Hustler who jumped right up there into the lead and sets this cracking pace now to Run for Free, and now they come on towards the first of the open ditches. Young Hustler in the dark blue and yellow from Run for Free, getting closer again. Barton Bank takes off and lands in 3rd place, then Cogent in 4, and after them showing 5 is Antonin, who's clear of the last 2 who are Black Humour, and 5 in Deep Bramble. This is the water jump for the first time. Again, no change amongst the leaders, and already this field of 7 are getting well and truly strung out, with Young Hustler and Carl Llewellyn in the lead, but Barton Bank now quickens a bit to go right up into 2nd spot on the outside. Still right there in 3rd is Run for Free, and after them this big gap back to Cogent. One more to take down that far side. This is number 5. It will be the 5th last when they get to it again. And this time it still sees Young Hustler making the running from the favourite Barton Bank, trying to win it for the 2nd year running. Then Run for Free back up on the inside, now going 2nd once more. And they begin this turn away from the back straight with Young Hustler, the Gold Cup 3rd, in front from Run for Free, and then Barton Bank. Then Cogent coming into the picture, followed by Antonin and Black Humour, and right at the back of the field, in fact, really struggling now, is Deep Bramble. So they turn into the straight for the first time, and the next fence is the 2nd open ditch, number 6 in the race. Young Hustler still from Barton Bank, who puts in a beautiful lead for favourite there to take at least 3 legs out of Young Hustler and to go on into the lead for the first time. He's the 11 to 10 favourite. Run for Free at 5 to 1, Antonin 11 to 2, and in 6 is Barney's 3, and they're now coming to the 7th. Barton Bank from Young Hustler again over 2nd. Run for Free right over on the far side, landed in 3rd spot. Cogent still flying his outsiders odds in 4. And then Antonin and Black Humour, and really out of touch altogether is Paul Nicholls' runner, Deep Bramble. So they come up now towards the 9th, and we're just over a circuit to go. It's still Barton Bank on the left of your picture in the green-white stars with Young Hustler. Run for Free lands 3rd. Cogent, a bad mistake, and he's gone. Cogent's gone, and has badly hampered Black Humour. Antonin, meantime, has gone past those 2. And now they come up past the stands for the first time. They've reached the halfway point of the Charlie Hall chase. Well, John, it's Barton Bank and Young Hustler, these two setting a furious pace, run for free, hanging on well, and then Antonin. How do you see it going now?
Well, it's turning out to be a fascinating race, this. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'm not putting the hoodoo on him, but I've never seen Barton Bank jump better. Young Hustler taking him on a really good clip. He got a little bit close to one fence, but he's back bowling along in front now, enjoying himself. Run for free, really the only one just able to keep tabs on them as they quicken down away into the back straight, and really still lots to play for.
Lots to play for, and I can tell you that Dan Ford is okay after that tumble from Cogent. Meantime, they go to the 10th fence. Barton Bank lands first from Young Hustler. Run for free over third, then Antonin, a somewhat remote fourth. The next one over, Black Humour. Still to take the fence, just jumping it now, Deep Bramble. Meantime, the principals go on towards the third open ditch. Here it comes now. Barton Bank again, another terrific lead by the favourite. And he's now about 5 lengths up on Young Hustler. Run for free, hanging on well there in third, and then Antonin. And Black Humour and Deep Bramble of Shorley are out of it now. The leaders then safely over the final water jump, and they've got 2 more to take down that far side. It's Barton Bank and Adrian Maguire from Young Hustler, landing again second with the Carl Llewellyn, Richard Dunwoody and Run for Free, and then Antonin under John Burke with it all to do, although he is beginning to make a little ground, is Antonin, as Young Hustler once more goes up to join issue with Barton Bank. So a thrilling contest between those two. Run for Free now beginning to feel the pressure, and it's Young Hustler on the inside of the favourite Barton Bank, and these two have now pulled about 15 lengths up on Run for Free, who's a further 8 in front of Antonin, and then you really need high-powered bids to pick up the rest, Black Humour and Deep Bramble. So, with just the 4 fences left in the straight, the first to ditch, the last 3 plain fences, it looks certainly between these two now. Barton Bank trying to take this one again. He won it last year at 12 to 1. Barton Bank up, and he's gone! But, well, a brilliant recovery by Adrian Maguire. He was absolutely ventre à terre, as the French would say, absolutely did the splits, but surely that's cost him the race now. Must have taken all the stuffing out of him, and it's Young Hustler left on his own now over the third last. Young Hustler jumps it well, and Barton Bank given the chance to recover. Beautiful piece of riding by Adrian Maguire. He's still just hanging on to second place in front of Run for Free, but it's all with Young Hustler a mistake at the second last. So the jumping really hasn't been too impressive, and Barton Bank has finally gone. Barton Bank has fallen at the second last, and that's left Run for Free in second place, and Black Humour, who was virtually tailed off, he's now in third. But over the final fence now goes the ultimate winner, when this is Young Hustler in an eventful race, coming up towards the line in the end, on his own, totally unchallenged. Run for Free was going to take second place, then Black Humour, and Antonin, who clearly needed his first race of the season, way back in fourth. But close home, and this is Young Hustler coming to the line, passing it now to win. Run for Free staying on in good style at the end, passing close in second, then Black Humour. After them, the riderless Cogent, followed in by Antonin. No joy for him today, and last of all was Deep Bramble. And so the big race goes to number 3, Young Hustler, owned by Mr. Gavin McKern, a double for Nigel Twiston-Davis and for Carl Llewellyn. And that takes Nigel Twiston-Davis on to 19th for the season. And here's poor Barton Bank. Well, it was an amazing recovery that he and Adrian Maguire achieved after doing the splits, but then he finally came down at the next fence. Barton Bank, who'd taken the race last year. Well, this is the winner, Young Hustler, and his jumping was not too foot perfect. Young Hustler, who won at Ascot last season, and then of course was third in the Gold Cup to the fellow, and he comes to last in the end with no danger at all. Finally, with Run for Free second under Richard Dunwoody. In third place was number 4, that was Black Humour with Graham Bradley, and in the end fourth was number 2, Deep Bramble with Chris Moore.
Bad luck for Barton Bank there, because he's done at this first fence in the straight, it's the ditch. He's done exactly what Joe Darmy did here last year, but well, I've got to say that Young Hustler was going well at the time, but just have a look. Adrian Maguire's given this horse a peach of a ride up until this point, and just sees a long one there, just got the horse's head up just didn't get long enough, and then did so well to stay on board. Well, you've got to say he must have strained his back there at some stage, but Adrian more or less bound to just keep hacking along. Young Hustler and Carla Wedding going for home, 3 left to jump, and he pops over the third last really nicely, but I thought he was just going to tip up at the second last there, Young Hustler. They're really stiff. Meanwhile, Barton Bank jumps that one perfectly well. Adrian Maguire totally justified in going on, carrying on for the prize money, and Young Hustler did well just to get his front legs back out in front of him, but just that there, got too close to that and just never made enough effort. That's the bottom line, there's nothing Adrian Maguire can do. Meanwhile, Black Humour and Graham Bradley chasing on for third. Young Hustler pops over the last. What a grand old servant this horse has been. Sun Alliance winner, third in the Gold Cup. He's won endless good races. Never ever has this horse given less than his best. I mean, he's had more runs than Jeff Boyd got, I've seen this horse, and still as enthusiastic as ever.
First number 3, Young Hustler at 8 to 1. Second number 7, Run for Free, 5 to 1. And third number 4, Black Humour at 6 to 1. Number 1, Barton Bank, was the 11 to 10 favourite. The two paid £9.20 for the win. The places £3 exactly and £2 exactly. And the dual forecast came to £22.40 and 7 ran. And at Warwick in the 250, the winner was number 10, Strat Royal at 4 to 1. Second number 4, Dundee Prince, 12 to 1. And third, number 6, Moving Out at 4 to 1. Number 13, Glenfin Princess, was the 7 to 4 favourite and 14 ran.
Well, as I said, he's a real grand servant, this. And well, he's the first horse that Mr. McEachen's owned. And I doubt if he owns another 500, he'll find another one as good as this. Really taken to fences well. He's such an enthusiast. That's what I love about this horse. Gave the second last a real clout. He still went off towards the last with his ears pricked and really popped over it well. Well, let's have a look now at the fall of Cogent, who fell on the first circuit and hampered Black Humour just as he was on the floor. Just have a look, they're not ridiculously stiff, these fences, but you've got to jump them. You can just see, just clip the top on his way up, Cogent. Graham Bradley has done really well to stay in the plate there, and good job his reins didn't snap. And well, we'll let you know whether Cogent's all right in just a few moments. But anyway, there's still plenty of action to come here. We've got a really cracking novice chase to follow up. We'll give you all the news from this Charlie Hall chase in just a few moments. But now let's go back and join Derek.
Thanks, John. I've got to bring you back down to earth with a real bump here, because we've just heard that Lady Beaverbrook has died. She was one of the great patrons of racing of the 20th century. Her colours, beaver brown with the green cross belts, were carried to success by so many great horses over the past 50 years. Horses like Bustino, Mystico, Niniski, Terrymon, Bowl Minster Sun, Petoskey and Easter Sun, and many, many more. She passed away last night, and I was talking to Clive Britton, who of course trains for her. He is wearing a black tie as a mark of respect, and I said, would you like to come on? And he's too upset to come on and talk about it. He has a runner in our next race. So Lady Beaverbrook, I'm sad to report, has passed away. She was in her 80s, and she was a great supporter of racing, one of the old school, and our thoughts go out to her family from all racing supporters. Now, let's go back to Weatherby. We have the trophy presentation for the big race at Charlie Hall.
Well, I'd say he might have put his leg out, might have just done it.
The Charlie Hall steeplechase is held in memory of one of the North's most respected trainers who saddled many big race winners, including several here at Weatherby. But once again, the race has proved to be a magnet for some of the best steeplechasers in the country as they begin their quest for honours this season. And the spoils of victory go to everyone connected with Young Hustler. And it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Paddy Farrell, who is the stable jockey for the late Charlie Hall for 11 years, to present the Charlie Hall Challenge Trophy. And this is received by Mr. Gavin McKecken, the owner of Young Hustler. Many, many congratulations. Well done.
Right, Carl Llewellyn with me now. Carl, you're upsides and going pretty well alongside Barton Bank turning for him. Did you think you had him beat, or certainly had a good chance at the time?
I was going okay, you know, he was going okay as well. I felt I could have obviously...
Well, just have a look, just talk us through this now.
I mean, he doesn't look as if he's obviously running away, but he's the sort of horse that he won't do it on his own, you know. Once you get hold of him, he starts to keep picking up. I thought I'd keep galloping always the line anyway. Whether he'd have gone a bit quicker than me, I don't know, but I knew I'd keep galloping.
At one stage, just going down the far side, I thought maybe he was just getting a bit tired, and as soon as you got upside him again, off he went again.
Just over the ditch and the water jump. He just come off the bridle again.
And then really clever here at the second last.
Yeah. Just skewed a little bit. I'm just gone a bit too cautious on him now, because he's a... Oh. I thought he actually had fallen at the fence before, Barton Bank. I didn't realise he'd stood up and got back up. He looks all right anyway. But just go and pop the last. It's done nice.
And there's nothing wrong with these fences. I mean, they're just good, fair fences, aren't they?
They're pretty big. They're as big as I've ridden over this year. You know, I wouldn't mind if they knocked a few inches off the top of them.
Well, I can tell you they knocked a few inches off of the third last here this morning, just to cut it down to size. He's not the biggest horse, is he, Young Hustler?
No, he isn't. He isn't very big, but he's brave. Yeah. But they could knock a few inches off the rest, I think.
Very, very
well,
active.
Look at them, lot.
And now he's got a quote, I think he's 14-1 for the next year's Gold Cup. He was third this year. I mean, if he was planned or mapped out with that race in mind, could he improve on last season?
We think he's improved from last year. We're hoping he has. He feels, I know it seems strange, but he seems bigger and stronger. So I think he has improved, and I hope he improves more.
He's an extraordinary horse. I mean, he thrives on his racing. He's had no end of it.
He just loves galloping. Loves jumping, loves galloping.
And will the plan be the Gold Cup and the National again?
Wouldn't have a clue. You'll have to speak to the trainer.
Well, we'll do that later, hopefully. Quick word about Tipping Tim. What's the plan with him? He was impressive.
Max is now, yeah. Yeah, it's the best he's felt today. That was good form.
What was the actual reason behind sticking him back over hurdles?
Well, they're just going to give him one run just to see if he was healthy, really. And as opposed to the strain of going back over the fences if he wasn't right. And obviously he came through that well, and he just have to string up the sequence there.
And he had last year, he was off with a bit of a virus. Was it that what was thought was just lack of form?
Yeah, I mean, people thought he's been brought back to, and he's a lot better now. He's gone back over hurdles, but it's nothing to do with the hurdles. It's just the fact he wasn't healthy before. You know, he was obviously wrong last year. It wouldn't matter whether it was fences or hurdles. It makes a difference to him.
Anyway, lots to look forward to for you.
Thanks a lot.
A couple in the bag this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the Charlie Hall pattern chase at Weatherby is the first of a long list of top staying steeplechases we'll be showing you on Channel 4 over the winter months. The King George, of course, the triple print chase at Kempton on Boxing Day. In January, the Malmay Castle at Memorial at Sandown. In February, once again at Sandown, the Act for Diamond, and that good race, the Racing Post chase at Kempton. Then to Cheltenham, the National Hunt Handicap chase, the Cheltenham Gold Cup. And then on the Saturday, the Tetley Bitter Midlands National from Utoxeter. And then north of the border to Ayr in Scotland for the Stackers Scottish National. And of course, we finish at Sandown towards the end of April with the Whitbread Gold Cup. They're all coming up here on Channel 4 this winter. Now another big race, the big fat race of the day, £35,000, Ladbrokes Autumn Handicap. The non-runner here is Rory, number 17. That leaves 26 runners. It's wide open. Can Melotti round off a great career by carrying top weight? Will it be the hot favourite Winter Coat and set the fashion? Could Her Majesty the Queen win this? Minstrel's Gift, of course, is also out, and that leaves 25 for GG to describe.
Yes, the two non-runners, the bookends in the draw, 27-1. With the top weight at 20-1, Melotti, ridden by John Lowe. New Capricorn is 25-1. partnered by Philip Robinson. KV at 10-1, Walter Swinburne. Riverboard, 33-1, Brian Raz. The Blinken Mr. Martini is a 33-1 chance, and ridden by Michael Roberts. Embankment's 33-1, Mark Denaro claims 7. The front-running Toujours Riviera, 16-1, Stuart Danigan. Cecido, 33-1, Emerald Gorman. Tortuga, 25-1, Gary Hind. Safely down at the start now. Tortuga and Gary parted company with a furlong to go to the start. Ham and Eggs, 33-1, John Reed. Castel Rossello, 25-1, Alan Mackay. Celestial Quiet, 12-1, Jimmy Fortune. Weatherbreak, 20-1, Billy Nunes. Winter Coat is Vides at 10-1. Can Frankie Dettori lend another big race? Master Beveled is the 8-1 favourite. John Stack rides, claiming 5. Rory doesn't take part. Billy Bushwhacker, the other Mary Reevely runner, only 10-1 for Kevin Darley. Shepherd's Cross, 25-1, John Carroll. Set the Fashion Visor down to 10-1 with David Harrison. Number 21 is the French Friar. Neil Varley claims 5, a 16-1 chance. The Blinkered Siphon is 20-1 with Joe Fanning. Pride of Pendle, 33-1, Lindsay Charnock. Chinor, 20-1, Jimmy Quinn. DV, 14-1, Willie Carson, just £1 overweight, DV and Willie. Northern Bird is ridden by Michael Baird, who claims a 7. That's a 33-1 chance, as is number 27, Secret Alley, 33-1 chance, Gary Barbwell. They've won over £900,000 in winner place prize money between them. 25 runner lineup. First 4 home get you a reward. It's the Ladbrokes Autumn Handicap.
And here's Set the Fashion, without a win in 9 runs this season, but he's been running really well in a whole clutch of ultra-competitive 7 furlong and mile handicaps. Got a long way behind when finishing strongly in 4th behind Wizard King at the festival meeting at Ascot, and again came from well off the pace when 7th behind today's rival Chinor here last time. Been well backed with both Hills and Corals this morning. Ladbrokes took a policy and ducked him by going short. He's very tough, and you would hope that today he might be able to run into a place and get some reward for his efforts. Winter Coat, the John Gosden chance, again well back this morning in the offices. A very good second to the well-treated Wizard King, the Britannia at Ascot, was having only his 2nd run since then, when staying on 3rd behind Toujours Riviera. He meets again today at Ascot earlier in the month. He's got a stone pull for 2.5 lengths, and probably the best backed early morning horse of the day. Still got some scope for improvement, and John Gosden's father, when it came to handicaps, did not raise any stupid children. They're always worth looking at. KV, a standing dish in big handicaps over straight courses. Very difficult to win with him. He runs tremendous races to be placed in races such as the Hunt Cup. He's been placed in a Woking in his time, etc., etc. But he broke a long losing run of over 20 with 2 easy confidence-boosting wins in small contests in his last outings. Another that has been the subject of money in the offices this morning. And well though he runs, he usually finds one too good, but he's an admirable old stick. And Malotti possibly making his swan song, one of the most popular handicappers of the recent era. Absolutely tremendous servant to Mary Reevely. My reservation about him today, other than the fact he's got an enormous amount to do, he's well enough drawn, I suspect, in 26, but 10 stone on fast ground, you'd have to look at him, but his best form has been on decent ground, and you might think it's a little bit soft for him today. There's been a late move for Master Beveled, who's now 8-1 favourite. He's in very good order at the moment. He'd go on this ground. He's a good second behind Toujours Riviera at Newmarket last time. He'll certainly go on this ground, and it's a question of whether the money is going to talk. Master Beveled has ended up at the top of the market at 8, and this money for Billy Bushwhacker Set the Fashion. Last one going in, over to GG.
Money for Celestial Choir. They race away over a straight mile, and they're heading towards the centre of the stand side. And on the far side, Master Beveled Set the Fashion, Toujours Riviera, whilst on the stand side, Shepherd's Cross, Castel Rosello, and nearest to us, River Board, trying to run fast. They're through the first quarter mile in 2 groups, and the stand side have it, and it's Castel Rosello and Weatherbreak, and it's Weatherbreak leading in those pale check colours from Castel Rosello. Also up with the pace is Siphon, that's on the right-hand group. On the left-hand group, look for Set the Fashion, Master Beveled, Melotti on the far side. Also Winter Coats coming out of the far group, but Weatherbreak has the edge nearest to us. Weatherbreak, the check colours. Castel Rossello is also running fast. Shepherd's Cross is bang there. Also Tortuga. Ham and Eggs just off the pace. Master Beveled leads the far group from Toujours Riviera, and they come down past the 4 furlong marker. And they've got 3.5 to go. And it's Castel Rossello, Weatherbreak, Tortuga with a run. Also Shepherd's Cross, Riverboard, Sacido. Off the pace, Ham and Eggs. On the far side, it's still Master Bevel, clear of Toujours Riviera. Embankment with a run. Saifan is out of it either. KV starts to run forward. Pride of Pendle with a rush. Embankment's bang there. All to play for, 2 to go. Left-hand side have the edge, and on the far side it's Master Bevel, Castel Rossello, and down the stand side with Tortuga. They're inside the final furlong now, and they've got a furlong to go. It's Master Bevel the far side from KV. Master Bevel, KV, they've gone 3 clear of Bully Bushbacker, who's staying on. Melotti with a rush, but up towards the line it's going to be Master Bevel. Master Bevel's going to take it at the post. Master Bevel the winner, KV second, Billy Bushbacker third, DV 4. Then the French Fire followed through by Chinor and Melotti, and after these we have Mr. Martini followed by Northern Bird. Then we have Embankment, Pride of Pendle, Set the Fashion, Sacido, Celestial Choir, Saifan, and one of the back markers is Weatherbreak. And so the outcome of this, the Ladbrokes Oldham Handicap, one of the unsung heroes of the year has been Master Bevel, a much improved horse. He's made virtually all the running under John Joe Stack to take this, the Ladbrokes Oldham Handicap. That's number 16. He's led on the far side virtually throughout. The winner then of the Ladbrokes Oldham Handicap, number 16, that's Master Bevel. Second horse home is number 3, that's KV. And the third horse home is number 18, Billy Bushwhacker, and fourth, number 25, DV. But there's our winner, Master Bevel, a much improved horse through the season, and he's handled the soft ground.
And 15 to 2, he's come back and clearly landed a strong on-course touch. Strong on-course touch. And John Stack has gone and made him do it the hard way. He's taken it up some way out. And it's the unavailing challenge of poor old KB. As always, the bridesmaid rather than the bride. He cannot quite get there. And John Stack has seized the race. Another big handicap win for him. And this much improved horse has landed a right old-fashioned touch. They've backed him heavily on course, and he's really never left his supporters in any doubt. KB struggles on unavailingly. DV comes from out the clouds to finish 4th, and Billy Bushwhacker getting the each-way money for his supporters in 3rd. But another improved performance from Master Bevel, justifying favouritism and sending the punters home happy from what looked a nightmare handicap.
First, number 16, Master Bevel, 15 to 2. Second, number 3, KV, 11 to 1. Third, number 18, Bully Bushwhacker at 9 to 1. And the fourth horse, number 25, DV, at 12 to 1. 15, Winter Coat was the 7 to 1 favourite. Non-runners, numbers 9 and 17, and 25 ran.
Well, here he is, number 16, Master Bevel, who was 16 to 1 with the sponsors this morning and ends up 15 to 2. He's landed a nice touch, and this a win for Ireland, Wales and England, because the trainer, David Evans, trains in Welshpool, of course, in Wales. John Stack, this very good apprentice find, Irishman, of course, no relation to Tommy, who used to work for him, and winning the big handicap here in England today. Master Bevel, what a good, tough sort he is. Second time he's won here at Newmarket, and this David Evans, a small trainer, but he really can turn them out. And there was a lot of money down on this horse, a very competitive race, and even KV, who was under the hat-trick, could not get to him. And this horse looks as if he could go around again. Look at that, he's hardly blowing, he is pricked. Well-deserved pat on the neck for this horse. KV lost nothing in defeat. He was onto the hat-trick, he gave his best, and he really seems to have found a new lease of life. But he ran well to be second, and in third place, Billy Bushwhacker stayed on the far side with DV 4. Let's get the tote returns.
The winner, number 16, Master Bevel, paid £9.90 for the win. The places 260, 220, 280 and 320. The dual forecast came to £55 and 10 pence, 25 ran.
It's nice to see a small yard come up to Newmarket and land a touch in a race like this. He actually went off second favourite, 15 to 2. There was money for the Gosden Winter Code went up 7 to 1. But this is a good day for a small yard, and this horse has really not stopped improving. As I said, he did it the hard way, went out, seized the race, took the initiative, and his staying power and his gut saw him home. A big day for a small yard, and good to see it.
Good, tough handicap of that, and I'm going to try and find out about Melotti. That could have been his last race. Well, if there was a prize for the most popular flat horse in training, I reckon a horse called Further Flight would top many people's lists. This lovely grey, now 9 years of age, trained by Barry Hills, ran here yesterday, and he was looking for his 18th win from 42 starts. Michael Hill's on board. Watch for this one, coming late.
And just over 3 furlongs to go. Muse, who took up the running 3/4 of a mile out, is stretching into the lead. They come past the 3 furlong marker. Tree of Life closing the outside of Dover Patrol. Then the grey, a second from the right is Further Flight. He's starting to get going on the extreme right, La River Rain. They're inside the final quarter mile now, and it's Tree of Life going on from Muse in second on the outside. Here comes Further Flight. Go on, old boy. Further Flight coming to press Tree of Life. Muse back in third, Dover Patrol. La River Rain's right out of it, but it's Further Flight the outside of Tree of Life. It's a match between these two. They've got 150 yards to go, and Further Flight edging into the lead by a head, by a neck. Tree of Life in second. They're pulling well clear of Muse, going up towards the line, and Further Flight's going to win it again. Further Flight's the winner. Tree of Life is second. Muse stays on to be third.
Isn't he terrific, that horse? He really does know where the winning post is, and Barry Hills, he said, I don't think there's another race for him, and they're going to prepare him for an autumn campaign next year. He'll come back as a 10-year-old, and he'll try for another win. That was his 5th course and distance win here at Newmarket. This time next year, we'll remember. This time next year, we'll be looking back and thinking, what about David Evans, the man from Wales, who sent Master Bevel to land a right touch, David? Do you fancy this? How much did you fancy him this morning?
Not that much.
Really?
Well, not in a competitive race as good as that.
It looked very competitive, but he turned it into a one-horse contest.
He gave him his race at Scone in his last 2 runs.
Yeah, yeah. David, tell us about your background in racing. How did you get into it?
I was an apprentice as soon as I left school.
Yeah.
Had a variety of jobs. Had a couple of jobs with responsibility and just went on from there.
And when did you decide to go training? Because it's a difficult time, you know, to go training.
That's 7 years ago.
Yeah. And how many horses did you start with in those days?
About 5.
And how many have you got now?
About 25.
25. And when you get a winner like this, it's certainly worth it, isn't it?
Definitely.
How do you find training in Wales? Do you find it difficult to travel to all the tracks? Are you quite happy there?
All the road work's pretty good.
Yeah.
Motorways.
Yeah. Well,
mountains.
Yeah.
Away from everyone else.
And good fresh air down there as well.
Fresh air.
Have a good trip back, and many congratulations on a nice big winner.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you.
So, that is the news from here at Newmarket. On our way to rejoining John Frankham at Weatherby, let's call in via Ascot and get a result from JT.
Thank you, Derek. The 310 won by number 4, Golden Arrow, even money favourite. Second, number 14, Josephina at 50 to 1. And third, number 9, Non-Vintage, 20 to 1. And 14 ran.
Right, with me now, David Nicholson, and David Barton Bank, he's got a bad kick on his face, apparently.
Well, I think he's done it himself. He finished up with a very badly twisted plate, and he's now got a compressed fracture of his sinuses. And there's a certain amount of blood about, and so forth and so on. I mean, he did not break a blood vessel. The vet thinks, all things being equal, he'll be back in 6 weeks.
I mean, touching with, I'd never seen a horse jump better, and he's put a really good display until then.
It's one of those things I think he might have been going too well.
I mean, and to be fair, he was just unlucky. I mean, he did try desperately hard to stay. Well, he did keep himself up at the first in the straight.
Yeah, and
do you think that's where he injured himself?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Personally.
And so when do you think he's going to be back?
King George.
Oh, well, let's keep our fingers.
All things being equal, King George, he'll be back. But I mean, it's a depressed fracture, as they call it. With any luck at all, he'll be fine.
It'd be a shame if he's missing from the scene from too long.
Well, I couldn't agree more. We, we get him back.
Well, it's not.
And then the vets here have done a superb job. Everything, I mean, detail, everything.
And it's not been all downhill today. Silver Wedge must have been thrilled with the way he performed.
I was chuffed to bits. I just hope Jeff Lewis was watching.
I think so. Where's he going to go next?
I don't know. I mean, basically, finale, he'll go the same way as myself now. He's got his confidence, he jumps super, he's quick enough well.
Well, plenty to look forward to.
I hope
And
so.
Marchwood?
Well, with a bit of luck, and he's been round here, he'll jump round. This place wants a bit of jumping.
Well, there's 3 or 4 here, you know, that probably got a little bit better form that you wouldn't guarantee to get round.
Well, I'm hopeful. He should jump round.
Well done, yours usually do.
Cheers, John.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
So, good news and bad news of Barton Bank. Thankfully, he's okay. Depressed fractures more than most of us would want, but at least he'll be back, hopefully, for the King George. Right, let's move on to this novice chase then. It's in honour or in remembrance of Arthur Stevenson, one of the great trainers. It's over 3 miles and 110 yards. Let's get a full list from Rawley.
Yes, John, just the sort of race that Arthur would like to have had a runner in. And they're headed by number 1, Straight Talk, the joint favourite 5-2, Richard Dunwoody. Number 2, the other joint favourite, Sweet Duke, for the team in form, Nigel Twiston-Davison, Carl Llewellyn. 3, Big Mac, Jason Callahan, 25-1. 4, Frontline, Mark Dwyer, at 4-1. Number 5 is Marchwood, a 9-1 shot for Adrian Maguire and David Nicholson. Then 6, Miley Pike, the only amateur, Nigel Tutty, 50-1. Reef Lark for Midgley, 33-1. Shelton Abbey, another 50-1 shot for Kevin Jones. Number 9 is Too Good to Be True, Lorcan Wire, 4-1. And lastly, Authenticity, the one mare in the field. She's ridden by Stuart Turner and is on offer at 33-1. 10 runners then for the Novices Chase.
Well, Sweet Duke would be long odds on if this was a hurdle race, one of the best staying hurdlers of all last season. Not very big though, Sweet Duke, and it's got to be said he was far from, or looked far from comfortable when he had his first run over fences up at Kelso. The other horse, Straight Talk, he was quite impressive when he won at Wincanton. That's Paul Nichols' runner, the mount of Richard Dunwoody, and of course Look Out for Too Good to Be True, owned by our own Jim McGrath, having his first run over fences. So they'll be looking out for Sweet Duke trying to kick somebody there. Too Good to Be True, running in the pink colours with a black hat. He's about 4 off the rail there, the mount of Lorcan Wire. Look, lined up, ready as though it's a 5 furlong sprint. It is in fact over 3 miles. Let's join Rawley.
Yes, John, and these novices have to tackle the same 18 fences as the big guns in the previous race. That's it, they're away. Authenticity just tucked in behind the others with Frontline over against the rails. And Straight Talk is the first one to go on. Straight Talk and Sweet Duke, the only 2 previous winners over fences in the field. They're closely followed by Marchwood with the red sleeves, then the maroon and white hoop sleeves of Shelton Abbey. Tucked in after these, the plain pink jacket of Too Good to Be True, and then comes the grey horse, that's a Big Mac. And the back markers in this early part of the race, Reef Lark, Authenticity, and finally Miley Pike. But they're very well grouped indeed, the 10, as they enter the back straight for the first time. Running there towards the first, a plain fence. Straight Talk has the early lead from Marchwood, now going up into second spot. Sweet Duke relegated to 3, and then Shelton Abbey. This is the first. Too Good to Be True, a great lead by him. He's moved right up amongst the leaders. They're all safely over that, but Authenticity is now last of all. And so to the first of the 4 open ditches all told. Straight Talk it is, with Richard Dunwoody leading, but Too Good to Be True over in second, and then Marchwood. Again, they all get over that open ditch all right. And now move on towards the water jump. Fence number 3, Straight Talk, the black jacket, yellow cap from Too Good to Be True, and then Marchwood. Up after them, and a mistake on the outside by Miley Pike, and almost went third in Miley Pike, cost him a lot of ground, but he's still on his feet, and Straight Talk lands over this one from Too Good to Be True and Marchwood, and then Sweet Duke back in 4. Then comes Big Mac, followed by J.P. McManus's runner, front line. Going to last on the far side, a plain fence, Straight Talk over first, but now virtually joined by Too Good to Be True. And again, they're all over this one, so all still standing after taking the first 5. Now they start the run round towards the home straight. Straight Talk it is then on the rails, joined by Too Good to Be True. After these 2 showing third spot, Marchwood, 4 is Sweet Duke, and then 5 front line, 6 the grey Big Mac, 7 Reef Lark, 8 just Shelton Abbey in front of Authenticity, and after that early mistake, the back marker is Miley Pike. So they're into the home straight now and moving on towards fence number 6. And this is the second of the open ditches. Straight Talk, yet to be headed, but only with a narrow lead, ahead of Too Good to Be True, and then Sweet Duke making ground again to join Marchwood. And after those, Shelton Abbey and Big Mac, and then out to the left, as we see the Miley Pike, Authenticity towards the rear. And just in after Sweet Duke over on the inside is a front line. Straight Talk lands first by about a length and a half this time. From Too Good to Be True. Big Mac just nodded there on landing. That's the grey, as Marchwood takes advantage of that to gain another length or so on him. But here, Straight Talk it is with Too Good to Be True going very easy. Another mistake by Big Mac. That's 3 jumping errors he's made so far, but he's still on his feet, as indeed all 10 are. So to the fence, which will be the last after another circuit. Number 9 this time, 18 next time. Straight Talk, Too Good to Be True. Then Sweet Duke getting ever closer once more. And behind those 3, front line, who's really getting into the picture, just in after front line, Marchwood. And this group of 5 past the post now. Several legs up on Big Mac, who's followed by Reef Lark and Miley Pike. And the last 2 are the one there, Authenticity and Shelton Abbey. So they've just passed halfway in the Arthur Stevenson Novices chase, with Straight Talk still ahead, followed by Too Good to Be True. A great battle going on there, John, between these 5.
Yeah, the 5 form horses pulling themselves clear of the remainder here. Too Good to Be True. Jim McGrath must be delighted with the way that he's been jumping. Got him really close to the second last, was very neat over it. And Sweet Duke on the inner, just tracking Straight Talk round there, jumping really well.
Yes, Straight Talk and Sweet Duke, the 5-2 joint favourites, and it's one of them who's ahead still, Straight Talk, by about a length and a half from Too Good to Be True. I'm just watching the back markers over the fence, and Shelton Abbey almost refused at that one, almost came to a standstill, and in fact is now being pulled up by Kevin Jones. Meanwhile, as they go to the next ditch, Straight Talk, Too Good to Be True, Marchwood getting back into it. Then comes Sweet Duke in front line. And this group of 5 are still several legs up on Big Mac and Reef Lark. And now over the final water, Straight Talk, Richard Dunwoody, Too Good to Be True, Lorcan and Wire. Again, very little between this pair, who come now to a plain fence, the 13th in the race. Straight Talk still with Too Good to Be True. Then Marchwood now joined and just passed by Frontline and Mark Dwyer, and then comes Sweet Duke being ridden along by Carl Llewellyn. He's got quite a few legs to make up on the principals. Over the last on the far side, and again they're inseparable, these 2 leaders. Straight Talk for Paul Nichols and Richard Dunwoody. Too Good to Be True for Peter Eastby and Lorcan Wire. Marchwood getting closer. Over on the inside is Frontline staying on well. So they come inside the final 3/4 of a mile with Sweet Duke, the last group in that picture, back in 5th spot. But it's Too Good to Be True now, just going on from Straight Talk. Too Good to Be True, Straight Talk. Front line, though, going as well as anything. Marchwood on the near side with Adrian Maguire, and then comes Sweet Duke. Coming now to the final open ditch, fence number 15. Too Good to Be True, stands off, jumps it well. Front line, though, coming strongly between him and the long-time leader, Straight Talk. Big Mac is finally being pulled up before jumping the ditch, so too Reef Lark. This is the 3rd from home, and anybody's race between these first 4. Front line, Too Good to, front line a bit awkward. He was right level with Too Good to Be True on the near side. Marchwood, Straight Talk being bustled along to come with a renewed effort. This is the 2nd from home. Too Good to Be True, just from March, and Straight Talk's gone. Straight Talk, having made so much of the running, has finally capitulated. His first real jumping error. He's on his feet, so too Richard Dunwoody. But as they come to the final fence, Marchwood now on the near side, the red sleeves. Marchwood by only a half a length or so, if that, from front line. Then Too Good to Be True. So it's Adrian Maguire, and he's getting very close to Mark Dwyer in front line, and these 2 are absolutely slugging it out as they run up towards the line. Nothing between the pair. It's going to be on the nod, but Marchwood just gets there. Marchwood from front line and Too Good to Be True. So it's Marchwood who gains his first win over fences from front line. Too Good to Be True, a very respectable 3rd. Finishing 4th and rather tired is Sweet Duke, and these are followed in. Well, they're the only finishers because Big Mac and Reef Lark were pulled up. So too Authenticity being allowed to hack back in her own time together with Miley Pike, and the only other runner, of course, Straight Talk, was the faller. And so the outcome of the Arthur Stevenson Novices chase, it's gone to number 5, Marchwood, earned by Mr. Bernard Hathaway. A double for David Nicholson and Adrian Maguire. They, of course, won the 4th with Silver Wedge. Adrian Maguire now 1 ahead again of Richard Dunwoody. He's on 44, the champion on 43. Second was number 4, Frontline, with Mark Dwyer. Third was number 9, Too Good to Be True, under Lorcan Wire. And fourth home was number 2, Sweet Duke. But Marchwood, it is narrowly almost one for the judge Alistair Stewart to call a photo, but no doubt about it, Marchwood has gained his first win over fences. Compensation to the Nicholson-Dunwoody team for the demise of Barton Bank.
Well, what a fabulous finish to this novice chase. 4, in fact, 5 real top-class novice chasers in the making here. Too Good to Be True, jumped from fence to fence. Lorcan Wire's just taken into the front. Tremendous leap there at the ditch, the first in the straight. Almost jumped it too well, just lost a little bit of ground there. Front line of Mark Dwyer just coming up on his inside. He's being challenged by Marchwood on the left as we're looking at them. Straight talk Richard Dunwoody, just beginning to lose contention there. Front line pecked slightly on landing, lost his momentum, but by the time they come back to this second last, 3 in a line there, and Straight Talk just getting tired, just tips his back end up too high. Now just going to the last, Too Good to Be True, still only a 6-year-old. I just felt he got a little bit tired in the closing stages. Lorcan Wire just sat still and accepted it here. But just look at these 2 jockeys, 1 winner apiece here so far this afternoon here. Now watch them go for home. And a steward's inquiry has just been called. Well, we'll see the head-on again. Did they bump? But a real ding-dong battle right the way to the line. That was worth staying on to see. No doubt about that. Marchwood just gets there. Let's have a look at the head-on now. Marchwood on the left. We've just got Too Good to Be True, just weakening slightly in the centre, and Frontline on the outside. David Nicholson joining me here. And we can just have a look. And David, you've no doubt that you won, and for a second looked as though you'd given Frontline a bump, but I'm not sure that actually when push came to shove, whether you'd actually bumped in that much. I think it all stopped as soon as you got over to the other horse.
They didn't touch. I mean, they might have touched. I mean, hasn't affected the result.
And a wonderful finish. You must have been thrilled with the way your horse was.
Oh, it was Chapter Mix and Bernard Hathaway. I mean, this horse came from Peter Cheeseborough straight out of Stevenson.
Went down south, and you brought him back up north to win.
Well, you've got to keep going, haven't you?
Well, after Barton Bank, let's hope that the steward's inquiry stays your way.
Oh, we hope so. Yeah. I think it'd be unjust if it doesn't. Cheers.
Well, thank you, David Nicholson. Tremendous finish to that race. We'll keep you posted as to the result of the steward's inquiry, but let's catch up on the SP first of all.
First number 5, Marchwood at 9 to 1. Second number 4, Frontline, 5 to 1. And third number 9, Too Good to Be True at 4 to 1. Number 1, Straight Talk, and number 2, Sweet Duke, with the 5 to 2 joint favourites. The tote paid £9.90 the win. The places 210, 190 and 140. The dual forecast 24.60, and the CSF 49 and tuppence and 10 rand. And at Warwick in the 325, the winner was number 6, Rafters, 4 to 1 favourite. Second number 5, Time for a Flutter, 5 to 1. And third number 4, Grassman at 5 to 1, 8 rand.
Well, he had the benefit of a run, I know, Marchwood, but he really stuck to his guns there at that run, and they went a good clip right away from the outset, and Straight Talk took him along at a good pace. A real true run race this, and I should think we'll be seeing the first 4 home there turning out in the Sun Alliance at Cheltenham in March. Well, we'll be giving you news of the steward's inquiry straight after the break.
If you're not happy with our energy-saving light bulb, the Osram Dulux EL, you can return it within 28 days and get your money back, no questions asked. But why would you do that when it saves you up to £54 on your electricity bills and lasts 10 times longer than an ordinary light bulb? You're not stupid, are you?
It's all worked out beautifully. With the new lagoon.
Happy Shopper, more baked beans, 20% more free, and 4p less at only 23p. Happy Shopper, more for less where you see this sign.
Right, I'm off down the Pig and Whistle.
Stanley, I'll wait for you. No matter how long you're gone, there'll always be a place in my heart for you.
How would 30 TV movie premieres a month affect you?
The key difference with this new Black & Decker drill is its new twist-lock chuck. Now, we had planned to show you how the twist-lock compares to the chuck on that other drill, but unfortunately, they've lost the key. The new twist-lock range of mains and cordless from Black & Decker. The key advantage is, there is no key.
If you're about to buy a mobile phone, the way to avoid slipping up is to go to People's Phone and check out which of our 12 tariffs is cheapest for you. People's Phone, where talk is cheaper. For your nearest shop, call 0345 10 11 12.
If I'm cold, I'll turn up the heat. I don't care about global warming.
We should fit proper draft excluders.
Oh, don't start.
We're paying to heat this house twice. Once to heat the room and once to heat the draft. Look, we must fit draft excluders.
We could get a bigger cat.
Cutting down drafts is just one way to cut your heating bills. For more, call this number.
No, no, no! You can't avoid car insurance premiums, but if you're over 30, call us direct, and you just might reduce them.
The Bosch Delta Sander puts technology at your fingertips. Easy-to-fit accessories allow you to sand and polish the smallest areas and the tightest corners effortlessly. Bosch. Excellence comes as standard.
Osram Dulux EL saves you up to £54 in electricity costs and lasts 10 times longer than an ordinary light bulb. You're not stupid, are you?
Well, welcome back. Still no news of the stewards' inquiry. I talked to both jockeys concerned, and, well, Mark Dwyer understandably thought that he got a little bit more of a nudge than Adrian Maguire thought that he'd given him. Anyway, while we're waiting for the outcome of that, time to look back at what's been a really fascinating afternoon's racing in our review of the day.
This is the 12th and last, Tipping Tim. Up and over, he knocked the top bar, but he's all right. Chateauroux will only be second, and that's the way they're going to finish, running up towards the line, and it's Tipping Tim, a past winner here on the Charlie Hall Chase, who's going to complete his hat-trick in great style. Tipping Tim, the odds-on favourite, completes the hat-trick with Carl Llewellyn. Chateauroux, the second favourite, is second. Strong Sound, if he can get through, could muscle those two up, certainly, as they come now to this 15th and final fence, run up the flag. And he's gone in the lead. And that's left Beachy Head ahead, Beachy Head from Strong Sound in second. But it's going to be Beachy Head and Marquois who land the Ridley Lamb All-American Handicap Chase in the end very comfortably. But it's Alcapus now, surely, all over the winner as they come to the final plane. He's only got to jump it. Alcapus jumps it beautifully for Richard Dunwoody. Aberranson takes it second. And then Triple Witching back in three. Cam on Target's gone four, but he's badly needing this race. And close home as they come up the hill towards the line. It's Alcapus striding away back on the bridle as he passes the post. The easy winner. They're coming down towards the final furlong. Silver Wedge being kept up to his business. He swerves away to the right, though, over in front of Golden Hello. Glenn Oogie is coming there to try and challenge for second place. Then Bell Roy. But it's Silver Wedge who's got this one. Absolutely sewn up now, striding away up towards the line. The favourite, Silver Wedge, at Adrian Maguire. So The jumping really hasn't been too impressive, and Barton Bank has finally gone. Barton Bank has fallen at the second last, and that's left run for free in second place, and Black Humour, who was virtually tailed off, he's now in third. But over the final fence now goes the ultimate winner, when this is Young Hustler in an eventful race, coming up towards the line in the end, on his own, totally unchallenged. Run for free was going to take second place, then Black Humour, and Antonin, who clearly needed his first race and seized way back in court. But close home, and this is Young Hustler.
A rundown on today's winners at Weatherby. The 12.50 won by number 1, Tipping Tim, 11-4 on favourite. The 120 went to number 3, Beachy Head, 100-30 favourite. And the 150 to number 5, Helcopus, at 3-1. The 225 was won by number 4, Silver Wedge, even money favourite. The 3 o'clock by number 3, Young Hustler, at 8-1. And the 3.35 by number 5, Marchwood, at 9-1, subject to a steward's inquiry.
Well, for those of you who just joined us and saw that fall of Barton Bank there, well, just take a look at this, because that fall was probably due to the fact that he'd done remarkably well to stand up at the first in the straight. He's the horse on this side in the green colours, and Adrian Maguire does really well to sit with him, and always does incredibly well to keep himself on his feet. And he suffered a depressed fracture of his right-hand side sinuses. He's had to have 20 stitches. The vet, apparently, according to David Nicholson, has done a wonderful job. Definitely didn't break a blood vessel, but did fracture his jaw, and they're keeping their fingers crossed, as is everybody here, that he's going to be back in time for the King George on Boxing Day. So we've had a wonderful afternoon here, apart from Barton Bank's fall. Young Hustler put up a tremendous performance. He's off to the Hennessy, and another tilt at the Gold Cup. All of the top staying chases, according to his trainer, Nigel Tristan Davis. Silver Wedge, he's got a 20-1 quote for the champion hurdle. Helcopus, well, he's going to take some pegging back in the stairs hurdle. And we'll let you know the outcome of this last novice race between. Just coming through now. Placings remain unaltered, so we're double there for the afternoon, just to pick up David Nicholson after the fall of Barton Bank. Marchwood keeps that last novice chase. Tremendous race to finish for. Still some loose ends to tie up down at Newmarket. Back to you, Tom.
Thanks, Franks. I think he's thoroughly enjoyed himself today, and plenty more top-class jumping action coming up in the next 6 months here on Channel 4. Now, Novices, who won the 245 here earlier, has been given a 25-1 quote by Ladbrokes for the 2,000 guineas, although he's by the sprinter Desjeux. Obviously impressed. That's the one that Woody Carson rode for trainer John Dunlop. Novices, 25-1 for the 2,000 guineas. Well, a few moments ago, we had the presentation for our big flat handicap here at Newmarket. This is the Ladbroke Autumn Handicap, won by the well-backed Master Bevel, and this is the presentation. And Richard Carter, director of Ladbrokes, presenting the prize to Katie Williams, the daughter of the owner, and they'll be going back down the M4 tonight all the way to Wales. Now then, John Tyrrell has the news today of the Newmarket winners. John.
The 12.30 won by number 2, Alicia, at 8-1. The 1 o'clock went to number 5, Domapel, at 12-1, and the 1.35 was won by number 2, Double Eclipse, 4-1 co-favourite. The 2.10 went to number 1, Nijo, 11-10 favourite. The 2.45 was won by number 10, Novices, at 5-1, and the 3.20 by number 6, Master Bevel, 15-2. And at Weatherby, the 3.35, confirming the result stands following the steward's inquiry. The winner, number 5, Marchwood, 9-1. Second, number 4, Frontline, 5-1. Third, number 9, Too Good to Be True, at 4-1. Number 1, Straight Talk, and number 2, Sweet Duke, the 5-2 joint favourites, and 10 ran. And at Ascot, the 3.40 went to number 1, Docklands Express, 5-2 joint favourite. Second, number 2, Topsham Bay, at 12-1. And third, number 5, Gold Cap, 11-2. Flash Heath, Flash the Cash, or Pickle, pardon, was the other joint favourite, and 8 ran.
Now, the Channel 4 Champion Tipster competition, the maximum points today were 107. Now, you tot yours up. If you've got 70 points or more, I'd get on that phone pretty darn quick. Dial this number, 071 757 7010. Now, if you've got 69 or 68, don't throw it away just in case nobody's got 70 or more, but we're asking for telephone claims 70 points or more. Dial 071 757 7010. You could win the first prize of £500. Now, the picture puzzle. There it was, the nude man. It was, of course, Naked Welcome, who did not streak home earlier on. Let's see if you won £100. Lynn Batsey did. Well done up there in the northeast from Tyne and Wear. Frank Heath did. So from Ebervale in Gwent, Welsh people had a good day today. And Steve Bailey from the Broadway South-on-Sea, you win £100 plus a video of the new Mel Smith. Hey, we're running. We've got a race here at Newmarket, so let's squeeze in our 10th live race of the day, the 3:55, the Ballerton Lodge Maiden Filly Stakes, 6 to run, GG.
Just over 6 to run. The horse with the big white face and the light blue colour stage struck is showing plenty of pace. Blue and white colours Mayru. Dark jacket on the left is First Amendment, and just off the pace is Trimming in the pink cap, but the leader is First Amendment and the blue colours Mayru. These stride for stride, a length to the good over Rosie Sweetheart. Then behind these come Trimming. Just off the pace is Frankfurter. Rihawi is just off the pace. That's to the right. Posing the light blue cap is on the extreme right. They're inside the final three. It's First Amendment and Mayra still battling from the front. Rosie Sweetheart on the left of the pink cap is Trimming. 2 lengths down the pack is Shift Again. Wood Rising starts to improve, but they come down past the 2 furlong marker, and it's Trimming in the pink cap. Frankie Dettori is sitting with a good double handful. First Amendment, the brown colours, makes a race of it. 2 lengths back to Mayru, and then off the pace of Kiwawi is staying on, but Trimming has set sail for home and has gone 5 clear in a matter of strides, lengthening it in good style. This goes to Trimming. John Gosden, Frankie Dettori can't keep out the picture. Trimming the winning, First Amendment second, a photo for third.
Well, we squeezed that in for you. Our 10th live race this afternoon, and what a way to end our coverage here at Newmarket for 1994 with Frankie Dettori, the champion jockey-elect, ending in the winner's enclosure. So we'll be back here next year for the Craven meeting, but next Saturday will be at Doncaster, the last day of the Turf Flat season, featuring the November Handicap. So till then, we leave you with the horse that landed a monster gamble, Master Bevel, doing the business in the Ladbroke Autumn Handicap. From us all at Newmarket, bye-bye.
They're inside the final furlong now, and they've got a furlong to go. It's Master Bevel on the far side from KV. Master Bevel, KV, they've gone 3 clear. Willie Bushbacker who's staying on for Lottie with a rush. Left towards the line, it's going to be Master Bevel. Master Bevel's going to take it at the post. Master Bevel the winner. KV second. Billy Bushbacker third. DV fourth.
Since his disappointing period with Barcelona.
On today's actual weather chart, very much this west-east split. Here we see all the cloud. It's a case of dealing with various pulses of rain. We've had some in northeastern England and eastern Scotland this morning, now clearing away, but yet another pulse arriving in the southeast. Best of the brightness out to the west, especially so in places like Wales, the southwest, and western Scotland, but 1 or 2 scatterings of rain here as well. But on the whole, the best weather reserved for the west. With temperatures held at 12 to 15, that's round about the high 50s. You might even hit 60, breezy in the west. Basically tomorrow, very much more of the same. Enjoy your day.
The story of Frankenstein, one of the most enduring legends of them all. What dark emotions drove the prodigy of British cinema, Kenneth Branagh, in his 2-year obsession with a monstrous saga, a saga that's fascinated filmmakers for generations. Frankenstein, in the South Bank Show, 10:45 Sunday on Meridian.
Will Sally Webster make it to the hospital in time? Coronation Street coming next.
So, now what do we do?
Go to bed.
We are not sharing the same bed.
Why not? I think we've established a rapport.
Oh, what?
You drink Old Blend, I drink Old Blend. We're already coffee lovers.
This is a blanket, and that is a chair.
Rich coffee aroma, smooth coffee flavor. Nescafe Gold Blend.
Mark?
Yes?
Nothing.
Hi, and welcome to the beach where McCain oven chips work out to become healthier chips. And hey, these guys are serious. Not only are they prepared in sunflower oil, but each hunky specimen contains less than half the fat of a fried chip. Just 5%. Wow, read it in wheat fat, boys. And McCain chips are cut from real potatoes, so they're totally dreamy in the taste department, too.
Most excellent.
McCain Beefeater, Crinkle, and straight-cut oven chips. With only 5% fat, they're healthier chips.
102. 93. 79. 53. I don't know how old my grandpa is, but he's younger than he used to be.
Someone you know can't wait to go. Disneyland, Paris.
For the first time on one great album, the best of Hank Marvin. Plus, the best of the Shadows. Together on the best of Hank Marvin and the Shadows. Might even buy it myself.
Organics, the only shampoo with glucosyl, a natural nutrient which nourishes the life source of hair, the roots. Organics strengthens hair, giving life and body. So hair looks radiant with health and beauty. Organics from the Elida Hair Institute, the first ever root nourishing shampoo.
Duplo Play Train. Building fun.
It's Blue Cross and the Alders mid-season sale. Every Blue Cross is a sale price with even more off. Blue Cross starts this Saturday at Alders of Portsmouth and at home with Alders, Southampton.
Watch this space.
For this high-tech Zanussi 1000 spin jet system eco washer.
Seaboard, you know what I mean?
Hey, you want funny? I'll show you funny. I'm a prisoner of my own guilt. I'm mayor of Guilt City. I'm a castaway on Guilt Island. The CEO of Guilt Incorporated. The captain of the USS Guilt. I am Guilto from the planet Guilton. I think I'm going to have to revoke your showering privileges.
How come?
Because I've lost confidence that that's all you're doing in there. Watch my show, Ellen.
Tonight, after Brookside on 4. We've a hospital appointment every weekday afternoon. An appointment with the lives and lovers of Shortland Street on Meridian weekdays at 2:50.
Is Angel kidding herself and Todd home and away in half an hour?
sure Daddy thinks I'm totally useless. You're not, am I?
I'll get it.
Come and I'll get it. I can still walk, you know. Just about. Hello. Hello. Hey, we thought we'd come and see how you are.
Oh, don't ask, Hale. You're likely to end up with a frying pan wrapped round your neck.
Oh, is it getting you down? Well, I'm bored. Won't be long. Oh, yes, it will. I'm going to be waddling round like this when I go and collect my pension.
Yeah, I'm very nice too.
Oh. How are you managing with David? Oh, fair to middling. My mum takes him now and again, but you know how reliable she is. Oh, well, why don't you just leave him here with me? Oh, no, he's much too much of a handful. No, it'll keep me occupied. He'd probably start you off. No, that'd be great. No, it wouldn't. I'm serious, girl, honestly. It'll give you a break at the cafe and... Well, if anything happens, I can always give you a ring, can't I? Let's just go with that, Emma. Well, I suppose I could come straight round and take care of Rosie for you. Well, that'd be great.
Sal, what are you talking about? You're the one supposed to be having a break. Now, come on, take Rosie to Rita and you can put your feet up.
Kevin, I don't want to put my feet up. I'm sick to death of staring at the wallpaper. I'm going to go mad if I don't have something to occupy myself with.
Yeah, well, you're going to be busy soon enough, aren't you?
Yes, but it's now. I need something now.
Suit yourself.
Go on, girl, please.
What are you up to tonight?
I wonder, I have a few days, and I would like to say yes to the offer.
No, sorry, it's all gone. Well, it doesn't hang around for folk these days, you know. Anyway, it was yesterday I needed you. What's that?
So you have nothing?
No, I'm sorry.
But the future, maybe?
Don't think about it, mate. It's what you got in your hand today that counts. Grab it while you can, you know.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry to bother you.
Oh, it's all right, mate. Hey, Dad, is your bus in yet?
What about you, son? Yeah, it's a bit early for the collar and tie brigade. I'm impressed to see you here, so I'm...
Well, I've come to collect my profits, you know.
Oh, I see. How well I might have guessed.
So, you know when he comes in, can you tell him about around?
Yes, sir. Certainly, sir. Will do, yes.
Thank you, Joe.
I don't know. Kids, you'd have to be away in the head to have them, so you would, eh?
Well, thanks for the words of encouragement, Jim.
Oh, well, you've burned your bridges now, son. The only thing you can do is bite the bullet.
All right. I'm coming. All right. Maureen, what are you doing here?
Cash and carry.
What?
Oh, let me in, Charlie, please. You see, they think that I wanted the cash and carry.
Who's they?
Well, you see, if I told Reg that I was coming here, well, he'd want to come too. And she don't want the two of us here. Oh, I didn't know you were being too late.
I don't usually dress for breakfast.
No, well, the thing is, you see, when I came yesterday, I saw the state of the... Well, not that it was bad, you know. I mean, you don't need the hygiene job. But I just thought you could do with a bit of spit and polish.
What I could do with is a new life.
Well, we could start with a bit of spit and polish and then we'll see. Why don't you just go and get dressed and I'll give you a going over. So to speak, I mean...
Well, I did try to warn you. He's unreliable, is that Steve MacDonald.
But now I have no money. This week I cannot pay back Emily.
That's not the end of the world, love. Really it isn't.
No.
What is it?
I don't know. These people check the restaurant. It makes it very difficult. This is a very good job for me, you know. I was very lucky. I think there are not many places that would give me work. So what happen if they decide it is too dangerous to take me back?
Life's full of what-ifs. You can't go around worrying about them all the time.
I know.
So, what are you going to do with your day off? Here's a what-if for you. What if I took the day off as